I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Yo, grew my hair and took the grill out. Think it's time to put it back in. Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. I'm with the gang, we packing. We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She asked me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fuck with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoe, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas key. You with me, sheesh. But need cheap keep.
I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I just spit all over the camera. What is going on, Mafia? Welcome in. Thank you guys for tuning in. We got a show for you tonight, guys. Bitcoin getting the push to the upside. I want to talk about this. We are long in the Discord, obviously. So I'm going to talk about that, and I also want to talk about kind of what we were seeing on the charts yesterday, because as you guys know, we had that 30-minute money flow coming to the downside with that 8-hour red dot, looking for pretty good for a continuation down. But the 16-hour came in and absolutely stepped on those signals and gave us that push to the upside. I did stop out of my short for a very small loss, and then the long obviously continued to pay us out, as I mentioned yesterday on the stream. You know, if we stop out of the short, whatever, we'll have that long position continue to pay us out, and that is exactly what we wound up seeing happen. What is coming up next here for Bitcoin, guys? Are we going to get a weekend bounce? Are we going to get a weekend dump? I'll be honest with you guys. I have been jumping in and jumping out, grabbing my bag and running away, just getting the money and being happy with it, not trying to be greedy here, as the local price action is pretty choppy, but we do still right now that we got that kind of 16-hour signal stepped on, which was the red dot with the 1-hour money flow crossover. There were honestly like a pretty good amount of signals that were pointing to more downside yesterday, but that 16-hour just gave us the VWAP flip, and we are getting the push to the upside. The 2-day green dot is now printing again. We got a 3-day green dot, so there are some things pointing towards a little bit more of a continuation up, but we do have to be careful, because in the long term, I want to cover everything from the high time frames to the low time frames, but as you guys know, 2-day money flow still coming out is not the best sign, but if we do get a bigger retracement, we talked about this yesterday, we are going to be looking for potential macro lower highs for lower lows to come in. We'll talk about the key levels. I'll be honest with you guys, things are pretty confusing right now, but we're still cashing out on those scalps. But yeah, for the next big trades, guys, I'm going to talk about those big levels that we're looking at and what I'm expecting next year on Bitcoin. I held ETH since 2017. Shout out to Dog, Lil Juan Dog, shout out to you, bro. He said I've been held ETH since 2017. Shout out to you, bro. So you're up on ETH. Actually, let's see here. I know you guys can't see my screen. But yeah, let's see if you bought. I mean, assuming you bought the top, which I don't know if you did or not. I mean, dang, you're probably close to those prices as well. But hopefully you bought if you bought into the bull run of 2017, you are up. Hopefully. But even if you bought the top, technically you're still in profit. But that's insane. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for being here. We got Bison in the chat said I was trading on the day ETH tapped 700 in 2022, and people think we're bearish now. Yeah, shout out to Bison. That's 700 is crazy. Send BTC to 0. Shout out to Classic. Yeah, we'll see. Are we going to 0? We're going to try to answer that question for you tonight. Shout out to You Grow, I Grow, said Francisco Candles. Welcome in, bro. Welcome in. We got French Toaster in the chat. We got Uncle Jesse in the chat. He is our like police. If he asks you to like the like button, tap the like button, touch it with your butt. We don't care what you do. We do not judge. Just hit that dang like button. It helps us out immensely here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. So shout out to Uncle Jesse. We got French Toaster. We got Bison in the chat. We got Chris M said, could we reach 86K, guys? We're going to talk about the possibility of that coming in. We got Captain Kirk, guys. Don't forget, show our mods some love in the chat if you have not already. We got Tyler Durden, Darren Does Things, Dave Digital, Captain Kirk, Crypto Anon, Crypto Billy. You guys know who they are. Chemistry Bro. Don't forget about Chem Bro. But yeah, show them some love in the chat, guys. And we're going to try to answer the question here of Bitcoin go up or Bitcoin go down. I'm going to try to break it down. But we're going to show you the charts. I'll show you the bullish case, the bearish case, and a potential for a little move to the upside. Let's see. Shout out to ZZZ said, hey, bro, in the premium Discord, do you give BTC USD signals daily? Shout out to ZZZ. It is not a... I'll talk about, we'll show the trade that we're in right now, and I'll kind of show you how the premium Discord works. I do not just give signals. It is not just a random signals group where you're just going to get a notification that says, buy Bitcoin now, sell Bitcoin now. I don't want to go too deep into it. I talk about why I don't do a signals group and why signals groups don't work, right? But I do give my personal trade setups. I just don't tell you exactly where to buy and sell. As a matter of fact, I don't know how people get away with signals groups. I'm pretty sure that's illegal, unless you have some kind of like license to be like, I don't know. I don't think you're like legally do that. There are like legal gray areas and complications with that. But either way, they don't work, right? Like you're not, if it's as easy as signing up for a signals group and just buying and selling when someone tells you to, nobody would have a job. Everyone would just be in a Discord making a ton of money. But you guys know where I stand on that. But stick around, bro. I'll show you exactly what I do. I do give my personal trade setups and the confirmations I look for to enter the trade. So I'll break that down because we are going to take a look at a trade that we've taken. Let's see. Yes, please talk about the premium. Shout out to LFG Mike. Yeah, okay. So we'll talk about it just a little bit. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. And yeah, let's see. Like I said, we do have some bullish We do have some high time frame green dots, but in the grand scheme of things, let's just jump on into the charts, and I'll break down the higher time frames real quick. Let's get into it. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Fabian says lots of not financial advice, if you know what I mean. Yeah, shout out to Fabian. Not a lot of people, not a lot of people will. Yeah, I think like people. I don't think you could just say like not financial advice and then tell people to like buy here. Like I don't think just saying not financial advice will cover you in that case if something were to happen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know. People, but I don't know. Let's see. I almost watched the Mafia on my TV, but I'm in the chat today. Shout out to Chris L. Welcome in, bro. Welcome in. Go up ? Shout out to Oculus. But yeah, let's talk about it here, guys. So I'm going to start off here on the higher time frames. We're going to do that top-down analysis. I'm going to give you guys kind of my thought process on where things are going. Now, I'm going to bring up Market Cypher B here. In the grand scheme of things, guys, we have our 3-day green dot printing. Now, I want to start off here, with these higher time frame green dots, right? We had this printing the other day. I think it was yesterday this was printing, and then it disappeared, and now it's printing again. So we do technically have the 2-day green dot with a technical bullish divergence here with lower lows on our price action, higher lows on our momentum waves, and you might be thinking to yourself, oh my God, Frankie, 2-day bull div, we're going to 150K. And I would say hopefully, but not so fast, because with that money flow coming down here, guys, this is not the best look, right? This is obviously going to give us that anticipation of lackluster retracements to the upside for potential lower highs and continuations down. Now, this is obviously in the case of if we were to just launch up from here. We talked about this yesterday on the live stream. In order to kind of get an idea of what is likely to happen here over the longer term, we need to get some kind of a bigger retracement. And then as we get that retracement, we really have to focus on what is happening as we come into those retracement levels. Are the charts looking bearish as we retrace into the key Fibonacci levels, which are going to be the highest probability areas to put in a lower high before continuing into a deeper pullback, right? So I know the famous question, is the bull market over, right? I'm not going to get into that. I've covered that so many times over the past couple of days. If you just watch any of the live streams in the past week, you will get my full thoughts on that and where I stand. Simple answer, I do not necessarily think there is anything on the chart right now that is 100% giving us the ability to 100% call the bear market, right? It's just simply not there. But if we get a retracement to the upside, we're really going to have to pay attention, because as far as money flow goes, if we're just looking at this from a simple money flow perspective, whether we're looking at money flow on the 5-minute, the 6-minute, the 25-minute, the 30-minute, the 4-hour, the 2-day, the 3-week, whatever it is, right? The money flow is always going to be behaving the same way. When you have money flow coming out, you are going to be anticipating the continuation of a downtrend. Now, hopefully, if we are going to wind up doing that, we could at least get some kind of a relief rally to come in here. However, if we come on over here, right, like even here, 2-day money flow comes and crosses over into the red. Right here, you get that first crossover. And what happens, right? You are going to be looking at this in terms of the higher probability being that you're going to get a lower high and a lower low, right? I'm not going to pull that fib just because I'm on a higher time frame. But what happens? You just simply come down, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? And then you kind of bing bong around, and you continue the downtrend, right? And this was all based off the 2-day money flow. So when we look at the chart now, this is pretty much what we are looking at, right? We have the 2-day money flow now. Not necessarily saying it's going to bring us down into a massive bear market just yet, but if we come up here and money flow is still coming out on the 2-day, and more importantly, guys, the only thing, right, when people just want to know if the bull market is over, right, like the only thing I can give you that is the closest thing to just like the one signal that means that the bear market is here and we are likely to continue down in a big way is simply the weekly money flow crossover. Right now, I wouldn't even necessarily just put 100% of the farm based off this one bet, but if you go in hindsight, every bear market we go into, it is marked by the weekly money flow crossover. So when we get this retracement, if we get a bigger retracement to the upside, let's say it comes from here, I'm going to talk about the bearish case as well, potentially coming down to 76 to 75K, but if we come up from here in a big way and we get a big retracement, everybody is going to be very bullish, right? And sure, we could wind up seeing it play out in a bullish manner and we could launch off into new all-time highs. However, we have to understand what the money flow is calling for. And at the end of the day, we don't know if we're going to come up to this major golden pocket 786, but if we did retrace up to this level, this would be the biggest area that would give us the high probability of putting in a macro lower high to continue down and break structure to the downside once again, which could potentially bring us down, assuming that we come up from here, right, bringing us down to the, $72,000 to $70,000, $67,000 level. We'll talk about those levels. I don't know if I'm going to cover those today because we looked at them almost on every single stream this week. But obviously, we have this range down here that we're looking at for the next key structural area of support. We have a value area down there. We have the structural highs here at about starting at about 70K or 72K actually. So if we come up from here and we get a massive retracement and we come into this golden pocket, which is sitting between about, let's call it 96,639 and the 786 at about 102,766, and we start putting in bearish confirmations, that 2-day money flow is going to give us the idea that we could put in that lower high and continue down. This is the highest probability area. Now, again, we don't know if we're going to get that full retracement. Sometimes you don't get the full retracement all the way to the macro Fibonacci retracement, right? But if we came up there at some point, even if we get a push up into 98K, right? This is where a lot of people are going to be calling for new all-time highs, which if it looks like that, if the charts are looking good as we approach back into this larger range and it looks like we could break out, I will be the first person to let you know. But as of right now, with the way money flow looks on the higher time frames, if this money flow is not faking back out into the green in a big way, if our three-day money flow is not coming back up in a big way, if the daily money flow is not coming back up in a big way, we are definitely going to be looking at that as the possibility of the green dot. Sure, that could give us a move up, right? But the money flow is going to indicate the overall trend. So it would be looked at as a lackluster retracement to the upside. Everyone gets super bullish here, and then we are looking for the shorts if we have the confirmations. If not, obviously, we'll update you guys when that happens, right? If we start breaking the 786, things start to look better. We can look for the bigger breakout. There's going to be a case to be made that we make a new all-time high. But as long as this money flow looks like this, we have to keep that bearish scenario on the table. And the reason I want to warn you guys about this is because if we see, keep this in mind, right? And you can probably remember back to any other time that we've gotten a pump, right? If we get a push up here, right? This is everyone's going to be bullish. We're going to get a bunch of daily green candles, maybe a couple weekly green candles. It's going to look really good. Everyone's going to be super bullish because, we just dumped and now we're getting a push back up. Everyone's going to be bullish here. But if it looks bearish, guys, I'm going to be the one guy saying, hey, great, we got the pump to the upside, and if we come up from here, we're long from the low, which would be really nice. But we'll talk about the probabilities of that happening in a minute. But just understand, everyone's going to be bullish here. We could be bullish, right? But we have to understand the dangers above. And again, just going back to 2021 should just show you, right? Like everyone's like, oh my God, this is the low. What was everyone doing here? I remember it very specifically. Everyone was calling for 100K. What do we see? Weekly blood diamond. More importantly, that weekly money flow crossing over into the red really gave me the confidence to be like, hey guys, this is probably the start of the bear market. This signal has called for the start of the bear market every single time, right? So, of course there was a chance that would have faked out, but, at this point, we have macro bearish divergences on the monthly, on the weekly. We had sentiment bearish divergences. We had divergences between the price action coming higher and search term analytics making a lower high. Many reasons to be looking for that as the start of the bear market, right? In the first weekly blood diamond ever. And what did that happen on, right? It happened on a retracement, right? He didn't get the full retracement, which would have been sitting up here, right? This is why I say we might not be lucky enough to get that full retracement into this golden pocket. But if we did, everyone's going to get super bullish, right? And you want to be careful. But what did we do, right? We actually did wind up rejecting one of these Fibonacci retracements, and it was actually the local fib from this little lower high all the way to the low. We come up. We know this is a local area to put in a lower high. Whoops. We know this is a local area that you could put in a lower high, right? So this is your first kind of area that you would look at for bearish confirmations for a potential drop to the downside. So not only were we pulling into that level, but you have the blood diamond, everything else I just mentioned on top of probably the plethora of local confirmations you had. But if you wound up breaking above here, we could have gone for another shot up here. But this would just be another macro area that we could put in the lower high and continue down. It just wound up coming in at the local fib. So I don't know, right? It's very hard to say, are we going to get the pull up into the full fib? Let's assume the bear market is here. Let's assume this is the all-time high, right? Just understand, this is going to be looking pretty good. Everyone's going to be like, oh my God, we're going to break out, right? But this is the highest probability area, right? Or one of the highest probability areas to put the lower high in before the bigger drop down for a break of structure to the downside, potentially targeting this next range, right? And if weekly money flow is crossing over into the red up here, that would be a big warning sign that the top is probably in my opinion. As of right now, we are still holding bullish market structure. So that's all I'll talk about on kind of the higher time frames. Now, what would I'm going to talk about some of the local levels as well. Like what if we don't make it all the way up to this fib, right? Well, we could very simply look for a push up here into about $91,000, which would be a retest of the local golden pocket 786 on top of the fact that we actually do have our value area low coming in confluent with that area as well. Right? So, if we do come up here, this is key resistance, right? If we can't get back into this range, and even if we do, you could just go for the bigger retracement levels. But, once we come up here, we have confluence here on the value area low. Whoops, let me go ahead and pull that back up real quick. We have confluence here on the value area low and the golden pocket sitting between about, 91K, right? And here's the thing. We might not even make it up there, right? Because it'd be nice to make it up there, but we've kind of already rejected and bearishly backtested this range before breaking down further, like on lower time frames, right? We broke down, tried to get back in, couldn't get back in, bearish retest, and then we get to move down. So when we look at this from a higher time frame perspective, money flow coming out on the higher time frames, right? 2-day, daily, Even the 3-day money flow still coming out, right? We have to anticipate, any pushes to the upside could be lackluster. And with 2-day green dots, 3-day green dots, weekly green dots, those lackluster pushes to the upside can be, somewhat not lackluster, right? They could be 15%. They could be 20% potentially, right? But just because we pump 15% does not necessarily mean all-time highs incoming. That's what everybody thinks, right? Everybody thinks, oh, we got green candles. We're going up. All-time highs, alt-season incoming. But we have to be careful. And again, if we come up here and things look good, we will know that, right? Because the charts will be pointing to the upside, and we could say, hey, this looks a little better than just a bearish backtest before coming down lower. On the higher time frames, we have a lot of levels in here that we're going to look at, but on the higher time frames, I would say big levels of resistance to look at. 91K still remains the same. It's the same levels we've been looking at, right? If we retrace up here, you're probably, going to get some serious resistance, right? And again, just because we got this beautiful bearish backtest right here, I don't know if we're actually going to make it all the way up there, but that would be kind of the first level, right? And then above that, if we get above that 786, we're going to be looking at the POC and the value area high, which is confluent with, well, the fib's actually already on the chart here. That is going to be confluent with POC golden pocket retracement when pulled from the all-time high to the low. Golden pocket, POC's right in there as well. And then you flip above that, you have your value area high 786, also in confluence, right? So these are big levels if we're going to put in lower highs. This is if you think the bear market is in, which I don't personally fall in that camp, right? But as of right now, if we come up here and that money flow is coming out, I may think hey guys, this actually doesn't look very good. I might take some more profit on my Bitcoin. I might try to get out of some altcoins before the bigger drop, right? So if we do come up, this is a big zone between I would say 91K and 92.7, right? And then if we get above that 786, you simply look to go into the POC golden pocket. This is another key level to look at for a rejection. And we get above that golden pocket POC, we're going to be looking at that 786 value area high, another level that you could potentially put in the lower high and then continue down. It is impossible to know if we are going to come up to the first fib, the second fibs, right? First golden pocket 786 or the second golden pocket 786. It's very, very difficult, right? We just have to kind of analyze price as it comes in. So that's what I'm looking at on the higher time frames. Just naturally, if I wasn't even looking at a volume profile, I'm saying to myself, lackluster push up for a continuation down. And I was talking to the premium Discord earlier today, very similar to this 7-month consolidation, right? You see the money flow crossing out into the red. What happens, right? We put in a lower high, we put in a lower low. And then we start pumping. We're like, oh my God. Everyone's like, oh my God, this is so bullish. We're about to break out to new all-time highs, right? And why is that, right? Why does everyone feel so good about that? It's probably because we got a 30% pump. And if you don't know how to read the charts, you don't understand how market structure works, you're probably thinking 30% pump, that's got to be bullish, right? We're probably going to the moon, right? But that's not how things work. What do we look at here? Well, we look at the 2-day money flow. Exact same thing that's happening right now. Money flow was in the red, and we knew that was crossing over into the red all the way back here. So you anticipate lackluster retracement, lower high, lower low. And then even if you get the bigger retracement, you have to look at this and say, as you get the retracement, you have to say to yourself, what is money flow doing? Price pushes in. You already know this is your key level that you'd be looking at for a lower high, right? If you're going to put a lower high in and continue to the downside, right? You already know this level is sitting here. As price pushes into this level, what is happening, right? Well, if you zoom in here, money flow tried to come up, but it just wound up coming back down here. And as you see this money flow coming out, hey, we're anticipating lower highs, lower lows, right? To break structure to the downside, what happens, right? You push into the key level that you would expect the lower high to come in at, and you put in the lower high and the lower low, right? And money flow is coming out. So it's the same thing. A lot of people were bullish here, right? And then a lot of people were super bearish here, asking me if it was the bear market, right? In which case I answered, no, I don't think this is the bear market, right? This is crazy. If you think Bitcoin's going to go from 69 to 74K and then go into a massive bear market, probably very unlikely, right? This is just a capitulation, right? This is a liquidation wick, right? And then what happens? You come back up and you come back to the upside, right? And then money flow crosses over into the green on the 2-day. And what happens? Massive move up. If we want a massive move up to new all-time highs, we need higher time frame money flow to cross back into the green. Right now, that is not the case. So if we retrace here, whether, depending on what level we come up to retrace to, and obviously I'll keep you guys updated here every day. But, as we push in these levels, very important to watch this money flow, because if it continues out like it did back there, we're probably going to put in lower highs and lower lows. That's all I'm going to leave on the higher time frames, right? Even the exact technical levels, unless we shoot up there over the weekend, are not even really that important at this point, right? Just understand, things are going to get really bullish here. Things can feel really bullish, but you have to keep your head on straight and understand what the higher probability outcome is, and only act on the higher probability outcome, not your feelings. If this feels really bullish, you do not want to be buying in here and then buying at the top and getting wrecked again, right? And very likely, guys, it's going to be a hard call up here. It's going to be very difficult, because probably if we come up right now, this money flow is going to probably try to come back up into the green, but is it going to fake out and come back into the red, right? Is it just going to continue lower highs and continuing out? So, we have to assess the situation as it comes in. But just from a very simple standpoint, before I show you all the local levels and all that, These are the major levels I would look at for potential, macro resistance, right? Golden pocket, value area low confluence around $91,000, $90,500 up to about $91,600. That's key level number 1. Key level number 2 is the 786. Technically, this is a full zone, right? Because again, just like back there that I just showed you, golden pocket 786 is where you would look for the retracement, right? So I'm just going to mark out these separate, right? Because golden pocket value area low. And again, the fact that we kind of just already rejected out of here makes me wonder if we're even going to make it that high. But at the end of the day, we come up here, key resistance, 786 at about 94.5, another key level of resistance. We get above that 786. I would wait for the POC golden pocket. This is, lower high level number 2, right? And then lower high level number 3. Does that make sense? I don't want this to be confusing. It's just 2 Fibonacci retracements, which are high probability areas to put in lower highs to continue down. The reason I anticipate that as a potential opportunity or possibility is because money flow. Money flow indicates a longer term trend. As long as this is coming out, we anticipate lower highs, lower lows, right? Just like back here, money flow is coming out. We have to anticipate lackluster bounce, lower high, lower low. We talked about that on a market update that we did a couple weekends ago, right? We talked about, again, right, where do we get the rejection here? Well, simply put, it was a golden pocket, 786 retracement. Right? And that's what we talked about as a level that could be the area to put the lower high in at. Lackluster bounce, lower high, lower low. Right? It's all the same thing, just at a different time and a different place. So that's what I'm looking at high time frame. Right? Now, green dots on the 2-day, green dots on the 3-day. Not too shabby. 4-day VWAP on the way to the upside. Looking for a green dot as well. This could give us a push up, but not necessarily launches into all-time highs. If I had money flow in the red, about to cross over into the green here, I would feel a lot better about that. It doesn't mean it's impossible, right? But it just means if you're going to follow along with the TA, the higher probability scenario would be lower highs and lower lows, regardless of where it comes in at, right? You're just anticipating the downtrend to continue until proven otherwise, right? I'm not going to act like, if money flow flips and it looks good, right? We have to change our thesis. So that's what I'm looking at higher time frame. 91K is the next biggest level of support, resistance. And I don't think we're going to get up there this weekend. If we do, then maybe we'll drop an update. So that's what I'm looking at higher time frame. If we drop down, just to give the quick levels, I'm not going to go into like the exact scenario. Maybe I will. But the next key levels to the downside, if we come and take Monday's lows here at about $76,500, that next key zone of support is the same one we've been looking at all week, right? If this is the lackluster lower high and we're going to come back down, I am looking down between about 76, we'll call it daily naked point of control at about 76,447, all the way down to the weekly naked point of control at 74,972. So 76.5 to $75,000 is that next key level of support. We come down here, I am looking for bounces. If we don't hold this level, simply put, guys, same levels as we've been looking at, right? Gonna be, I'm sorry I'm showing this, right? I'm sorry I'm showing you this folder. Golden pocket, POC, daily and weekly naked point of control. This brings us down to kind of the doomsday levels, right? Bitcoin is still in an uptrend here. There is no argument there, right? Like, you can't say this is not an uptrend, right? This is just a fact, right? This isn't my opinion, right? We're putting in higher lows and higher highs, right? High, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? So as long as we stay above these highs, guys, I'm not that worried. If we start cracking these highs, I start to worry, right? Because if we crack those highs, we know you have to come to a different time frame here, right? So if we come back down here, I'll turn off the daily naked points of controls. I'll just keep the blue boxes on, right? We know. Hopefully we could just bounce here. That'd be great, right? But with money flow, these are some of the lower levels we could visit, right? 76 to 75K, we lose that zone. I'm looking down. Really the key level, value area high, golden pocket, sitting at about 70,300, right? You have the $72,000 top of the golden pocket sitting up here. However, there's no confluence up here. So I am looking at that as like an honorable mention at 72K. It's also confluent with your structural highs here. You can see that right there, right? You kind of come up, test these highs. It's right on that golden pocket. But to be quite honest, really the confluence is down here on the value area high in the bottom of the golden pocket, right? So, if we come down there, technically you could come down, retest those highs, and then send it, right? We have to assess the situation once we get down there, right? But if we start losing this blue box, lose this POC, that's where we're going to see a lot more pain, in my opinion. Targeting the 786 value area low, getting closer to 61.9 all the way down to 59K, right? Now, you might ask yourself, right, these are just simply the levels, right? Next key level down below, 70, we'll hopefully hold 75K. We lose that, I'm looking down between 72 and 70K, right? So the question is there a case where we could just come up and make all-time highs, right? Well, Market Cypher's not calling for it, right? At least for high time frame money flow, right? Generally, if we get back inside this range, hold this value area low to support, we can anticipate the POC. But again, that POC is confluent with the golden pocket, which is a key level to put a lower high in at. So, we could hope if we hold this value area low at 91K, we could shoot up towards that golden pocket POC. If we flip that POC golden pocket, we could look up towards the value area high 786. But even this level is technically an area that you could put that lower high in still to continue the downside. So it's not really until we start breaking that 786 where I would feel comfortable really saying, hey, we could look for the breakout. But that could change if we approach this value area low and money flow starts coming back up on the higher time frames. It's an if this then that statement. We have to wait for the information to come in, because I'm telling you right now, if we come up here and things look bearish, I am not going to be, I would probably be taking a little bit more profit off my Bitcoin. I wouldn't sell it all. But I know a lot of people are wondering if the bear market is here. That's your case, right? If you think, and I know it seems really bearish what I'm looking at right now, but I don't fall in the camp that the bear market is here. I think maybe we come down lower, right? I do think this is the case. Like maybe we play down a little bit lower, and then eventually we do wind up getting the bigger breakout. I just don't think that, I'm just saying be careful, right? Because if that 2, 3, 4-day green dot, even the weekly green dot gives us a big pump up, it could be something like what we saw here. Because you might be thinking like, well, Frankie, if we start breaking these highs, like wouldn't you start to get a little bit more bullish? Maybe. It depends on what Market Cipher says, but back here was the same thing, right? Back here was the exact same thing. Come on over to the 2-day, right? We look at this, and you're thinking to yourself, well, like, hey, oh my God, we're breaking these highs. Like, yeah, sure, it's great, right? But you just have to know what levels are above you, right? And that would be the Fibonacci retracements, right? You got to flip that 786 to get the bigger move up. You don't flip that 786, you start rejecting. That's probably your lower high. And what do you expect after the lower high? You expect that lower low, and that's what you get, right? It looks really bullish, right? I did this in the premium Discord earlier today. I even pulled this pattern. I'm not saying it's going to play out exactly the same, but and again, would that mean the bear market is 100% here? Not necessarily, right? Not necessarily. But if you look at this, right, if I just kind of resize this a little bit, you could get the drop down, right? The big retracement, golden pocket 786, that's still a lower high level. You would expect the breakage structure to the downside, right? I wouldn't use this as an actual target, but, if it plays out anything like this, right, that target could be potentially around 70K, right? So if we don't come down here to the previous highs sooner than later, and we get the retracement first, that might be something that you see, right? And I'll be honest, if the weekly money flow is coming out here, I would say that looks more like a bear market to me, right? But if it's not, right, and we just kind of maybe just the 2-day and the 3-day are coming out, but the weekly's not looking horrible, maybe you just do something where you come down, retest 70K, and then maybe you hang out, and then you send it to new all-time highs. I'm not trying to just guess on if where the bull market, where the new all-time high is going to come in at. But these are the key levels. If we're going to come up and put in new all-time highs, I would say if we're not going to put it in from here, the levels I just showed below are probably the highest probability areas to look at. Once you start breaking below these highs, that's where things get a little bit sketchy, in my opinion. Specifically, you lose 67K, I'm calling for 50s, right? And the reason for that is not just because I think it's bearish. It's because if you lose that POC at 67K, the highest probability area for price to go next is going to be the 786 at 61 or 62, and then the value area low in 59, right? And we have a lot of liquidity sitting down here. So just understand that. Liquidity acts as a magnet for price. We come on down here, start working down here. Yikes! You got a lot of liquidity sitting down here. And again, is that a traditional 4-year bear market, right? 4-year cycle bear market where we're going to spend, a long time down at the lows? It's going to be a 76% dump. Really hard to call. You're gambling to a degree if you're just saying the top is in. And you can make that bet, right? You might be right? But there's no way to 100% call for that. So really, we got to wait for the bigger retracement. Hopefully, we can get it here off the green dots. I'll talk about the lower time frames and what I'm looking at to kind of work in here locally. But if we get the bigger retracement, just understand I want the Mafia to be aware. Everyone will be super bullish. They were bullish here, and we were saying the same thing. Watch for the lower high. Everyone's like, bull market breakout, altcoin season. Oh, my God, right? And then what happens? They come down. We're shorting the top. Everyone's calling a bear market. We're looking for longs, right? That's typically how the market works. And the chart is the easiest way to try to get on the right side of those trades. Don't listen to the sentiment, please, for the love of God. Let's see. Just follow the big money. Shout out to Bubba Franks. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, follow that big money, baby. And what does the big money like to do? They like to wreck retail. They love to wreck retail. Max Payne is back up, or are you saying Max Payne then back up? Right? I guess you could make an argument where listen, if we start yeeting off here to higher prices and money flow starts to shape up, and listen, I'm not saying, like I said, I don't really fall in the camp of the bear market is here for a traditional 4-year bear market. I don't consider this a traditional bear market, right? This was just kind of like a dump, right? And then we came back up to sweep the highs, right? I wouldn't say like, oh my God, this is the bear market. This is the high of the cycle in 2021, in my own personal opinion, based off of many factors. But if you were calling, oh my God, it's all over, guys, sell all your bags, right? You would have been right for a little bit, right? You would have been like, oh my God, this guy was right. He was right. We're going down. I'm selling all my bags, right? And then boom, you come back up. And then what happens to your audience, right? They try to buy back in on the pump and then they get wrecked, right? So, we're going to likely see something very confusing happen, right? It's going to be I can guarantee you the most likely outcome is probably the least expected, right? Even though most of the times we do expect a lot of these moves. But, just in general, we'll see what happens. If we come up here and money flow starts looking good, maybe we do. Maybe there is a situation where it's like just max pain, right? Everyone's like kind of nervous. They're all selling their bags. And then all of a sudden you just take off to new all-time highs. In which case we will come up here and say, guys, we said, right? Like, we're not freaking out here, right? I am not freaking out here. I do not think just because we came down here, the bear market has started. As a matter of fact, I think we can endure some more pain potentially, and I would still not be able to call 100% for a bear market. Because I say this almost every day for the past couple weeks because it's just relevant, right? You come down to the bottom of this volume profile to the value area low, it's only a 45% dump. Now, I wouldn't say that's common in a bull market, but that's pretty much what happened here. We went down 55%. Everyone thought it was over. And then what happens when everyone thinks it's over? Boom, send them back in, grab the liquidity, and then send it into a bear market. Right? Like, think about the emotional roller coaster. Roller coaster, that is, right? Oh, my God, bear market, bear market. Oh, wait, hang on a second. Oh, my God, never mind. Buy, buy, buy. Oh, no, wait, hang on. Oh, no, wait, we're going to 100K. Oh, like, it's not as predictable as people think, right? It's always, hindsight's 20/20. Right? So just understand like how confusing and scary this would have been, right? Even if you go back into bar replay mode, like, look how scary this is. Like, you're thinking like, oh my God, is that the top of the bull market? Right? And people calling the top up here, that's it, right? I would think they're right in hindsight. But, then you're saying, oh my God, it's a bear market. People might be cutting their losses down here. Oh my God, oh, it's definitely over. It's definitely a bear market. Oh my God, it's all over. Like, the pain is horrible. And then all of a sudden you start heating back up. And it's not until here where people are thinking to themselves, oh my God, that's it. We're going for all-time highs. Oh my God, we're going to 100K. And what happens? We just come up and sweep the highs, right? And then we go into the real bear market. So, it's probably going to be really confusing and scary like that, in my opinion, right? So if this is the bear market, in my opinion, right, they're probably, it's not just going to be like down in a straight line. Hopefully not, right? That would stink. But that's what I'm looking at. That's my 2 cents on the higher time frames, right? We come up here, money flow starts looking good, then we can anticipate potential breakouts. But in my opinion, it would probably make a little more sense to come test some of these lower levels and then do it. It would cause like super max pain, right? And then send it back up. Everyone's just like gives up at this point. And remember, guys, the looser monetary policy, right, is really what sends these assets into a bull market, right? Like, we're not in really a risk-on environment right now. And until that happens, that is a condition that has been met every single bull market in the past. If that does not happen, we are very much likely not going to see this stuff pump. So just keep that in mind. There's other things at play here, right? Like, if we don't see Bitcoin dominance drop, if we don't get the looser monetary policy, we can expect more pain. If not, sideways / more pain. It's not until all that stuff shapes up that we're likely to see this stuff happen. But you want to be paying attention. And honestly, to get them to cut rates again, we need to see pain, right? So, like, the question is, have we seen max pain? In my opinion, is it possible? Yes. But, I mean, if you think this is max pain in crypto, you haven't been around that long, right? Like, coming down here would really be painful, maybe even lower. Right? Before finally everyone feels pain, the stock market is absolutely dumped, and then they finally have to cut rates, and then we see the next move up. But I do think, right, although I don't think it's the bear market, I do think there's a possibility for more pain. I want to be very clear. Just because I don't think the bear market is here does not mean I think we're just going to yeet off to all-time highs. As a matter of fact, if everybody gets bullish, right, I might be bearish, right, if we get those signals. So just remember that, right? Come up, oh my God, bull market. Like, still maybe not a bear market, but I'd probably look to come to the lows again, right? And again, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, because I will keep you guys updated. You might be thinking like, yeah, but how do we know, right? Well, we'll be live here talking about the price action as we come into those levels. So if things start to change, we will see that live on the streams with you guys. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Stop dropping the volume profile tutorial playlist. I appreciate that, Rob. Thank you so much for dropping that. Let's see. Bring the pain, baby. Bring the pain. So, yeah, I would say locally I am pain. Shout out to Judge Bibbles. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah. And to be honest, a lot of the pain that we're seeing caused by the administration right now, when you see an administration come in and shake up everything like they are right now, that is very likely going to cause short-term pain. But hopefully that short-term pain will be, it's almost like there's got to be a good analogy for this, right? Like sometimes things have to get worse before they get better, right? That's not a great analogy. It's just like a kind of a general statement. But it's kind of like, sometimes things have to get worse to get better, right? So like maybe we just need a little bit more pain here to, get those rate cuts and then finally see that stuff send it to the upside, right? But until then, we could just react off the candlesticks, right? And that's what I'm looking at. So so again, 2-day, 3-day, 4-day green dots, all these higher time frame green dots, 2-day, 3 days printing, 4-day, looking to print as well, 5-day, looking to print as well, right? If those print, they could give us a move up. So just be prepared for that. But as of right now, off the 2-day money flow, we have to be careful with the lackluster pumps to the upside. So that's the higher time frames. That's all I'm going to talk about with that. It was pretty long, but I think it's important, right? Because I know a lot of people are concerned here. But let's go down lower time frame and talk about kind of what I'm looking at in here, right? So as you guys know, yesterday we were looking at our volume profile, right? And we were looking at this volume profile. We also looked at some of our lower volume profiles. I'll actually pull up the lower one first because yesterday we did take a scalp long in the premium Discord. We talked about this. Let me just hide this real quick. That is the long position. We came down to our value area low, which was also a local 786 Fibonacci retracement. Whoops, come on. We went ahead, we took that long position right here at the value area low in anticipation of coming up and squeezing a lot of the shorts that we had up here, right? We had a lot of liquidity sitting above us. We saw that on the liquidation levels on high block capital, and I took that long position at the value area low with anticipation of coming up and taking some of those liquidations, right? And we were looking at this yesterday saying, hey, with the 30-minute money flow coming out, right? And, when we're wrong, right, or when the TA is wrong, I guess, we will come out and say it, right? We're not just going to hide and pretend that we're right all the time. I mean, granted, we were right with the long playing out very nicely. But, when we come up here like this, right, what do we have happen? We had the 30-minute money flow crossing over into the red, right? So my thought process for this originally was to get, I mean, you guys know this. I'll pull this up on this chart. Right, the idea here was, hey, guys, and you will recognize this, because we looked at this yesterday. I was looking at this this Fibonacci retracement saying, hey, we have our 30-minute money flow crossing into the red, right? So if we get these green dots to give us a bounce to the upside, I think it's a higher probability that we're going to come up and either reject this golden pocket 786. If we get above that, next target would be POC golden pocket. That'd be the next area to look for a rejection. If we get above that, you have the value area high 786. That would potentially give you a rejection. But what happened? We just shot up and wrecked all these shorts and just ripped right through this, right? Which is nice because, again, we are long from the tippy bottom, basically. Let me see if I can pull that up. Bada boom, right? So we did take that. Right? Up $3,000. Well, actually a little more than the $3,000 because I got 262 locked in. Right? So we made a little bit of money on that, right? Not too bad for a little day. But I was pretty happy to wake up to that. And I will touch on the premium Discord. I know a couple people asked about it. I'll kind of talk about it and show you what we were looking at for this trade and why. Let me just kind of why we were looking to take that and how we handled it, right? And how I set it up in the Discord for everyone to follow along with. But we took that, right? And it was higher probability, in my opinion, right? 30-minute money flow comes into the red, right? We have the 8-hour red dot printing. And we also had the 16-hour red dot with the 1-hour money flow crossing into the red, which is another market cipher B116 strategy to make us anticipate another continuation down. However, what happened here, right? The markets are crazy. Our 16-hour red dot, this was looking pretty good for a move down. Red dot with the 1-hour money flow crossing over into the red, right? Those signs were there. So it was much more likely based off the TA at the time, right, for lackluster retracement, lower highs and lower lows. But what happened here, right? 16-hour red dot confirms, and we get an immediate VWAP flip. That's what we like to call these VWAP flips, where you get a red dot and an immediate green dot. So that signal instantly got stepped on, right? And what happens? We get the continuation to the upside, and you might say to yourself, well, that stinks because we thought it was going to continue down, but not really, right? Because we're long from the bottom. We made $3,000 on that. Not too bad, right? And I did actually, we were short here in the premium as well from the value area high for the move down and now long from the value area low to the upside. But unfortunately, I was in meetings yesterday, all morning and afternoon. So we actually did come down to some TPs. I didn't take profit. So I actually took a small loss on this. I lost like $220 getting stopped out of my short, but small loss, minus 220 or whatever it is, to go ahead and just get paid out now up, over $3,000 on the long position, right? More often than not, I'm in a situation where I got stopped out in profit on the short, and then I can just make more money on the long. But just to be fully transparent, I share my losses and my wins, right? I lost $225 or something. But again, small losses, big wins. Huge, 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 huge thing to understand as a trader, right? It's okay to lose trades. It's okay to be wrong, right? It's okay. We thought that was going to continue down, but we also prepared for the upside, and that paid us out, right? And we get stopped out for a small loss. Can't win them all, right? But there you go. And that's why, right? Like, you see this new information come on into the chart, right? That 30-minute was coming out, but the 16-hour starts to get the VWAP flip. Then you're looking at the 1 hour, and you're like, well, hang on a second. Now your 1 hour is crossing back into the green, right? So you get new information. So technically, right, if this wasn't, if this money flow wasn't coming back up at like 5 in the morning, right, maybe I would have seen that. I could have closed my short in profit, right? But I just wound up getting stopped out for a small loss. But again, doesn't matter because we made more money on the long. So pretty nice. Now at this point, maybe you might be asking yourself, well, what the heck? What's to come next here? I'm actually going to get rid of these. I was going to come back over to this chart, right? Same range. So yeah, just simple volume profile stuff. Deviate above the high. This is where we look for shorts. Get stuck in the range. Look to go to the POC and the value area low. And just to give you guys a little bit of an idea of what we look for on that, right? For the short, because I know a couple people asked about the premium Discord. Not a signals group. If you are looking for, a way to just make a bunch of money by having someone tell you when to buy and sell, I hope it works for you. It probably won't. But if you can get that to be the case, then just set up a bot and go retire and just do that. But in my opinion and experience, that's not really how that stuff works, right? But this is how we do it in the premium Discord, right? We actually had an original short setup from here on the SFP. I did not actually get into that trade. I didn't get my entry, right? So I waited till we came back down to the value area high. And we knew once we got stuck back into this value area high, right, and could not get back above, money flow was coming out. And obviously, I do kind of explain, I walk you through the actual price action, let you know exactly what I'm thinking and what I'll be looking for. Hey, if we break down in here and we cannot get back above, we will be looking for the push down to the POC. If we lose that POC, we can look to work our way down to that golden pocket, right? And we did wind up losing that anchored VWAP value area high, and we obviously did wind up getting that move down towards the, it's actually a different range that we were looking at the time, but essentially same thing. We got stuck under the range. We got that move to the POC and towards that value area low. And then this is where I actually wound up, just to kind of show this, right? This was the first range we were looking at. So this is that, right? Get stuck under here, go to the POC, and then towards the golden pocket. Price gets down below the low or below the high, goes to the POC, loses the POC, comes down towards that golden pocket. This is a different golden pocket. It was actually this golden pocket, right? So we did front run that golden pocket. But how did I know to go long here? You might ask yourself. Well, Frankie, if you didn't hit the golden pocket or the value area low, why'd you even go long here? Well, simply put, people ask me all the time, when do you look at current price action, current volume profiles versus when you look at previous profiles? This profile right now is pulled to right here, right? This area of balance, right? But once we wound up coming back into the range, we're back inside that area of balance. So all I did was extend this profile to the current price action, because that will now move our volume profile levels. Specifically, the volume profile will move up more often than not, right? If you're moving up like this. Now we have a value area low. So I originally looked at this. This is this range that we're looking at, right? So we're saying, hey, if you look at the current profile, we're actually at the value area low and a local 786 retracement. That was enough for me to fire on that long position. That's what we did, and we made the money, right? So it's the if this, then that. That was the short setup. We came down. Right? And then obviously POC would be first take profit if you shorted from here. First take profit, stop loss to break even. I was busy, right? So I was not on the chart, so I didn't actually take profit here. But usually I do. And then we get the move to the downside. We look for the long position, and that looked something like this. Whoops. Looked something like, right? This was more of a scalp position to begin with because we were anticipating the lower high, so I wasn't looking to take that up to much higher prices. If it did, then great, which it did. We made $3,000, not too bad. But just letting the Mafia know. With the local volume profile pulled to current price action, we are hitting the value area low with very low time frame bull divs. May be able to get a bounce here. I may try a scalp long if we can see if we can come sweep some of the shorts that squeeze some of the shorts we have above. Blah blah blah. I explain exactly what I'm looking at. That was where we put that in there. Typically, I do put like a position tool like this, but when I try to get them in quick, sometimes it's hard. But obviously, these are the local levels, so we look to take it. into the golden pocket, 786, and then these other 2 key levels of resistance, right? This is actually kind of a bad example because I just didn't have time. I just kind of got this in here. But usually it's, looking something like this where it's like, hey, we're in. This is where I'm looking for price to go. And I talk about exactly what I'm looking for to enter, or if it's aggressive like this where I'm actually going to enter, I just talk about it, right? We have low time frame divs, money flow coming up. We're above the value area low. Hey, maybe we can come fill that range in full, right? It's a simple volume profile trade. Come to the value area low, look for your confirmations, and then look to go POC value area high. Even if you think you could put a lower high in, right? If it keeps playing out, this is likely what you'll see. Fulfill the range, right? Simply put. So that's pretty much how the Discord works, right? I put the setup before. Normally, the scalps are a little more aggressive. But yeah, like even letting you guys know, I want to teach you how to do this yourself. I want you to be able to go out and trade by yourself and make money. I want you to hang out in the Discord, obviously. But if you're making money trading, you're probably just going to hang out with us anyway because we all trade together, right? But we had the liquidity sitting above. Let's see if we could squeeze those liquidations, push up into those prices. Boom. We get the push up. Price pushes through all those liquidations. We still had some up here and up here, letting the Discord know late last night. Came up and took out the liquidity perfectly, right? Ayo, let's go. And then just understand we have these levels up here. I explained this, right? So if we do push up, I will be looking to come into this liquidity, and this liquidity. What happens when we wake up? Boom, we sweep the liquidity, push into the liquidity, and we even came up here. And this is kind of where we're hanging out right now. So that's kind of how the Discord works, right? If we come over to the main kind of area, just to kind of show you guys, like usually what we're looking for is, I'll put the setups in like this, right? Like, hey guys, we come up here. I'll be looking for X confirmation into this key level of resistance for price to come down here. So I wouldn't consider this signals. I'm not telling you to buy or sell here. I'm just saying if price comes up here, this is what I'm looking for. If I see these things, I'm personally going to short it, right? Because this is not financial advice. I'm just sharing the TA and the setups. What you do with that information is up to you, right? I'm not just going to tell you to buy and sell. So yeah, that's we'll set it up where we're looking at the actual setups, waiting for those prices to get hit. Honestly, the larger moves have been harder to kind of wait for because we're just taking a lot of time to come down, right? But like even this level, like we wait for a long time and then eventually we get in there, we find the key levels. The key confirmations, we get them, we take the trade. And I walk you through everything, right? Like why did we see that pump up? Hey, shorts got wrecked or whatever it is, right? So there you go. That's what we do in the premium Discord, right? Like even here saying like, hey, if we come on down here, sweep these lows, boom, we could see a move up, right? And again, like the confirmations are very specific and they do change over time. But that's pretty much how we do it, right? I wouldn't consider those signals, but, and also sharing the losses too, right? I'm fully transparent. 138% on the long or, over $3,000 on the long, 3% on the short, right? Or minus 3% on the short. So you don't win them all, but the importance here is bigger wins, smaller losses, right? So there you go. That's kind of how we do it in the premium Discord. We absolutely crush. We don't win every single trade, and it's definitely not a signals group. But yeah, that's how we do it. I like to walk everybody through the trades as step by step as I possibly can. So there you go. Let's see. Rising on low volume bear div incoming, time to take some chips off the table. Yeah, shout out to Cisco Kid. So let's break this down, right? So what's likely to come in next year? For me personally, right, at the end of the day, we come on over here, if you are deviating above a volume profile, right, if you're deviating above a volume profile, right, from a local perspective, this is a deviation above the high. This is where we typically look for short positions, right? I would say 30-minute money flow is still coming into the green pretty nicely, but you do also still have some, bearish divergences here, right? You have higher highs on your price, lower highs on your momentum waves. Really what I'm looking for here, guys, I'm not going to talk about the exact setups or anything, but, deviate above the high, look to go back into the range, back down to the POC and the low. Deviate above the high, look to go back into the POC, can't break back out, go back to the low, right? Break above the high, or break above the low, flip it to support, go to the POC, go to the high. This is how we trade the volume profiles. Very simple stuff, right? Obviously, finding the setups, finding the confirmations are what's a little bit more difficult, what I walk you through in the Discord. But at the end of the day, from a volume profile perspective, this is where I pay attention to look for shorts, right? Very simply put, if we break down back into the volume profile, can't get above about 83,693, I would look for a move down to the POC, lose that, look for a move down to the value area low for a full rotation of the profile. So I will be potentially looking to enter some shorts. We actually looked at a setup in the Discord. I would be waiting for a little bit, or in the live stream in the Discord, but I'm not going to talk about the exact setup or scenario that I'm looking for necessarily, but at the end of the day, deviation above the high, If you break that back down below this low, you can go to the POC and go to the value area low. And I am going to be paying attention to this range now for the most part, right? This is the new kind of major local range. Value area low at $80,253, POC at $82,688, and then the value area high at $83,712. If you get the full rotation, I'm going to give you the line in the sand that, in my opinion, would call for the much bigger move down. 786, pulled from the low to the high. We lose this 786 at 78,380. Whoops. I would be looking for a take of the lows into our $75,000 to $76,000 key level of support below. Right here, right? Lose the 786, that's where I'm looking to go. And then I will be looking for bounces there as well. We lose that, that's where you go down to those like kind of like doomsday levels at like 72 to 70,000, right? So that's locally what I'm looking at. That's your local profile. But here's the sticky situation, guys. Local profile here, sure, we could look to short that back into the range. That could potentially work out. However, you have your range up here. This is the situation we looked at yesterday. We're kind of just squeezed between two profiles here, right? And not even this one. I would look at this one. Whoops. Right? So we have these two profiles. The question is, are we going to stay above inside this upper profile and fill it to the POC golden pocket, value area high, or are we going to lose this and come back down and fill this range? You know, the question is, what's going to happen here? Are we filling this or are we filling this, right? Or at least coming up a little bit more. The answer to that question, guys, is I would really like to see what happens with the 4-hour red dot. When this 4-hour red dot prints, and the reason for that is if this 4-hour red dot prints with the 15-minute bearish divergences here, with money flow coming out, if that 4-hour red dot prints and that 15-minute money flow crosses into the red, I think the fill of the lower profile, or at least a move down, is going to be more likely. If that 4-hour red dot kind of just gives us a little pullback with the 15-minute money flow crossover, and we hold inside the upper range, then maybe that 15-minute doesn't give you that big of a move down, and that 4-hour red dot doesn't give you a big move down, and you're accepted into this range. It's a hard situation because we're kind of like, are we going to accept in up here or get accepted in down here? And me personally, I'm going to lock in some profits on this long, move my stop loss, probably going to take some good profits off this, and then maybe look to maybe take a little bit of a lower risk scalp short here in case we do get the move down. But I would say 4-hour, 15-minute is what I would like to see play out to see if we can get the bigger move down. We also had some nice bearish CVD up here as well, so that could help us for the move down. But at the end of the day, right, like this is where we look for shorts in context of this profile, but in the context of this upper profile, this is what we look to hold before a move up. It's a little bit of a dicey situation, but because the lower time frame money flow is coming out, this is going to play out before we see the higher time frame green dots, right? If the 2-day green dot's going to give us a big move up, chances are if that 15 minutes going to give us a move down, that 15 minutes going to give us the move down first before that 2-day plays out. So it's a little bit difficult. I'll be honest with you guys. Like I just show you guys what I do and how we make money, right? But it's a little bit difficult just to call like, how is this going to shake out over the weekend? All I can really say is hold above this value area low. That's your roadmap to the upside. If you get stuck under this value area high, which is basically the same level as the value area low, then we would look for the bigger drop down. But I'm going to be prepared for either one. If we hold, right, and we don't come down here and stop me out, I'm going to continue to capitalize on that long position, right? If we come down, I'm probably going to be able to find a short up here to enter in the Discord, right? So, we'll see. I don't really like to actively trade on the weekends, to be totally honest with you, especially if I'm made a bunch of money this week. I kind of want to go into the weekend with profits, right? I don't want to have to stress out, if you don't want to, ruin your, nothing worse than making money in a week of trading and then going into the weekend trying to force a trade last minute, and then you're constantly checking your phone and then you wind up losing all your money. Not losing all your money, but you turn that nice beauty. I like to go into the weekend with some profit and not have to stress out about my trades unless they're like well in profit or something like that. Hey, shout out to CandleMafia's John Cena. Let's go. You can't see me, bro. Shout out to John Cena. Says Sol just hit previous week value area low. Shout out to CandleMafia's John Cena. Let's go, baby. We'll take a look at Ethereum here in just a minute. I'm in short since this morning. It's annoying. Probably just going to close my TP and forget about trading for the weekend. Shout out to Gen Z. That's totally fine, brother. If you wanted to do that, that's totally cool. If you want to set your stop loss and let it run over the weekend and see if it gets hit, that's cool as well, bro. That's totally up to you. For me, I just like going into the weekend with my wins. But yeah, we'll see what happened. Shout out to Flippin says, head up. Quad watching March 21st. I don't know exactly what that means, but shout out to Flippin. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to J Violet. Says I'm not Gen Z. Shout out to J Violet. Did somebody call you Gen Z? Did I call you Gen Z? Between those ranges, it's kind of a gamble, low key. Yeah, I would agree with you, right? Like, because you have things calling for both directions, right? Like your higher time frames, and this is the way I break it down. Hopefully you guys could take something away from this, right? 2-day green dot could give you a bigger correction to the upside, for sure. In that case, you want to hold your long. But chances of a correction before that 2-day potentially continuing to push you up, right? Especially the 3-day as well, right? Even if they're going to push you up, if that 15-minute money flow crosses over into the red and that 4-hour red dot prints, you're probably going to get at least some form of a push down before the bigger move up. So it's really hard to say, right? But when you're, and again, shout out to Gen Z. Was it Gen Z that said that? Listen, bro, in this choppy price action, there's no really arguing this other than these like little volume profiles. Even within the volume profiles, this is choppy price action. I've been jumping in, grabbing my bag and jumping out, right? So like I'm totally fine catching this long position. I close this long position in full, right? And it's just like, I'll wait for the next trade, right? Like if you make, right? Like for example, like if I just close this trade right now and close it for $3,000, like, am I going to be upset if I make $3,000 in like 24 hours? If I'm going to miss on potentially more gains? Absolutely not, right? Like sometimes I have to check myself because it's like if I close this right now for over $3,000 in profit and then it keeps running, right? It's always like, dang, I should have held it, right? But you can't let that get in your head, right? Like think about that. Like, are you really upset that you made a bunch of money? And I used to have to work over a month for that much money, right? And I just make it in a day on one trade. So sometimes it's just better to lock in your gains, put your hands in your pocket, go hang out over the weekend, and then just come back to the chart the next day with fresh eyes. Like this is going to happen 100 times again, right? So you just cash out. It doesn't matter what happens here, whether it dumps, pumps, or whatever. You just wait for that next setup where you're at the chart paying attention, and you can try to take the trade, right? So, you want to make sure you pay yourself, right? If you don't pay yourself, you'll never make money trading. You don't just want to continuously always hold on for that huge trade. Whatever that huge trade is for you. Maybe a $3,000 trade is huge for you. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's small. It doesn't matter, right? But you don't just want to you want to make sure you're making money, right? You don't just want to keep holding on, hoping you come up here. It's up to you. It's totally fine. If you're in profit or even at break even, just stop at, if you want to cut it at break even and just wait for the next setup. Maybe you cut it here over the weekend, we bing bong around, come back down to the bottom of the range, and then Monday you got a long setup from here. Who knows? But yeah, that's just kind of how I've been handling the market. Like just closing my trades and just waiting for another sound setup. But yeah, these are the local ranges. Local value area low, 80,300, POC 82,740, value area high 83,667, and then the upper range is the value area low 83,586, POC golden pocket sitting up here. I'll just give you the POC 89,500, 85,519. Value area high sitting at 91,116, which is also confluent. Like we kind of just have like stacked on, like super stacked profiles, right? Because this value area high of this range is on this value area low of this range, and this value area high of this range is on the value area low of this range, right? So it does put you in a little bit of a difficult situation. Are we just going to like reject back in here and come back down to the low, test these key levels of support? That's a possibility, right? Or are we going to get accepted in here and get the bigger push up off those daily green dots, higher daily time frame green dots? That's also possible. But I do think the 4-hour and 15-minute is going to play out before the higher time frame green dot. So maybe you pull back before getting back into this range, or maybe you pull back and it just winds up being bearish and you come down to the next key level of support. So a little bit of a sticky situation, but that ain't stopping us from making the money on these little scalp trades. So yeah, shout out to the CandleMafia. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, shout out to Seth. Said it's insane. It's crazy how much you can make when BTC trades in a range from 75 to 90K, though. Yeah, absolutely. 100%, right? Like whether you're scalping low time frame ranges or you're trading the higher time frame ranges, 100%, plenty of money to be made, right? That's the beauty of being a trader. We don't have to say, like, it doesn't matter if this is the low before massive all-time highs or not. We can make money on this little move, this little move, this move, this move, this move, this move, right? All these moves we can make money on, right? In the premium, this whole range, right? We were slapping these trades, right? Slapping them. Boom. Even up here. Like this was another really, really good week of trading in the Discord right up here, right? You had a local value area. And this is why I love the value area. As long as you have your value area for context, you know where you're looking at for your trade setups, right? Deviate above the high, you're looking for shorts back down to the low. Deviate the low, looking for longs back to the high, back to the low, back to the high, back to the low, back to the high, back to the low, and then eventually you break down. And when that happens, very often when you trade like this, you're going to be holding a portion of a trade from a high. All right, so when you get that bigger breakdown, oftentimes you are holding that short from the top, which is super, super nice. But yeah, like you could look at the lower time frame trades within here, and then also look to hold the bigger trade within the larger profile. So maybe you do catch a short up here for the down to the value area low, and you could say to yourself, well, hey, if I'm going to short this, bada boom, right? And I'm in profit here at the value area low. I can move my stop loss to break even, take some profit. And then if this thing decides to come back down, I can target the macro value area low, right? And if it comes back up and rips up, I stop out in profit. If not, I turn this short from the top from a single into an absolute grand slam trade. Does that make sense? Right? Because at the end of the day, you're just looking for a short up here because you're deviated above the local profile. And you could look at that in a higher time frame context of like, well, hey, if we start to come down and we get stuck inside this larger profile, I could look at this as a deviation above the profile of the larger range, and that would potentially call for a move through that whole volume profile, right? And that's how we trade, right? You got to look for the you got to know the confirmations, you got to know the key levels, you got to know how to look for the setups, and you got to know what to look for to pull the trigger on the trade, which obviously we cover more in the premium Discord. But this is why we love the volume profiles. And we just show this we show this every day, right? Like this is how we trade. This is why we trade like this. We don't need to guess that this was the top, right? Like when I was short from 102K, right? Or let's just assume, right? I was short from 102K on this big drop down, made a bunch of money on that. However, right? Like let's just assume we took a short up here. This is like free sauce, right? Let's say we took a short here based off this local volume profile, right? A lot of people will say, well, Frankie, like, it's crazy, bro. Why are you always short from the top, right? It's like Bitcoin, if Bitcoin dumps all the way down here, it's like, well, I'm short from 105K, which technically I was really short from 102K, but let's just say this in this case for argument's sake. People are like, wow, dude, like, how'd you know that was the top? People think trading works like this, where it's like you just know this is the top, and then the target is going to be 78K. It's not always that easy, right? I'm just looking at this at first as a little scalp down to the value area low. And then if things still look bearish, right, you have your 10-hour money flow crossing into the red, maybe you can anticipate a bigger breakdown, and then you have those lower targets of the value area low, and then eventually you just hold a portion of that trade, taking profits along the way. You could let that winner run. If I was short from up here, I don't know this is going to be the top, and we're definitely going down to 77K, right? I'm really just looking at it as a little day trade, right? And then I could hold it as a winner and let it run. And that's why oftentimes when we are long, right, like right now, on my long position, this is the perfect example. My long position right now, let's assume that randomly we just get the big rip up, and let's just say we come up to 106K, right? Well, my long position is going to look pretty dang good, right? My long position is going to be like, well, hey, hot dang, this guy's long from the bottom, right? And it's like, wow, man, like you just sniped that bottom. And it's like, yeah, sure I did, right? And sometimes we are pretty sure it's going to be a big bottom, but you don't have to think like that, right? I'm not longing here saying, hey, we're definitely going to 104K. What I am saying here is, well, hey, we have this local range, and I'm going to look for this trade to go from the value area low to the POC, flip the POC, go to the value area high, where I can then take profit and move my stop loss to break even, making me money no matter what, making it a guaranteed winning trade. And then if this thing decides to fly into this upper profile, go to the POC, go to the high, right? And in this case, if we get up in here, I'm going to hold a portion of this. If we continue up, I'm simply going to target the POC because I know once we flip this value area low to support, the next likely place for price to go is the POC. If we get above that, I'll target the value area high. I'll probably take some more money off the table there. And eventually you take enough money out where it's like you just close the whole thing. But, you know, if we just got some kind of a Lambo candle back up to our macro range, all the way up here, right? Maybe the POC up there. It's like, well, how did you know it's a long at the tippy low? I didn't, right? I just took a shot in a smaller context, understanding that I can let a winner run if it winds up going, right? You got to know when to let the winners run and when to let the losers stop out, right? You know, so there you go. Hopefully that drops some sauce for you guys. Let's see. Fat bottom trade. Shout out to Gordon. Let's go, baby. We love those fat bottoms. What's the name of the indicator? Shout out to Els. I don't know if you're talking about the volume profile or down here. This is Market Cipher B. Very important to my analysis personally. And then the volume profiles. This is paid. These are free on TradingView. So yeah, these should be. I think they're free with every subscription to TradingView, even the free one. If you can't get these on a free version or a lower tier of the TradingView subscription, you could just search for my indicator, which is 100% free, no strings attached. Frankie Candles Essentials by Lux Algo. Shout out to Lux Algo. This is 100% free. Just search my name, click it, get it on your chart. It is a fixed range volume profile with some added little bells and whistles. So there we go. those are my thoughts, guys. A little bit of a sticky situation, but that's how I'm handling things. So, yeah, hopefully we can get some more clear signals here. So I would watch for the bigger green dots on the higher dailies to give us the bigger move up, but I would definitely be careful with that 4-hour, 15-minute could give us a smaller pull to the downside. We start losing the 786, start losing the, the 786 sitting right here. Just quick summary. 78, 359. I'm looking to take the lows into the bigger key zone of support. If you guys want to know more about that, you just tuned in. Go to the beginning of the live stream. We covered it all in detail. Shout out to Darren. Says, Frankie Candle's Essentials Indicator works on Essentials plan on TradingView. Does it not? Can you not do it on the free plan? Shout out to Darren. Interesting. Let's see. I'm worried about ETH if BTC goes to 7-month low. Yeah, shout out to Jose. Yeah, I mean, listen, if Bitcoin decides to go to the 7-month range and start trading in there, I mean, obviously Ethereum is going to feel the pain, right? As well as all the other altcoins. So remember, guys, like I am not necessarily super interested in altcoins right now. I am looking at Total 3. I am looking at Bitcoin dominance to tell me when I should be looking at altcoins, right? I am letting Bitcoin dominance. I'm actually going to have to come back over here. No, actually over here. Nope. Actually here. Nope. Actually here. This one. Right? I am letting the Bitcoin dominance determine when I'm looking at altcoins, right? I am not interested in altcoins as long as we live above the value area low here at 60.96%. Because this keeps the doorway to the POC open. And if Bitcoin dominance is going to do that, the alts are going to throw up. So why would I look to buy the dip on alts right now until I think that the dip is not going to dip anymore, right? Because sure, the altcoins dump, right? But if this is going to keep going up, the dip is going to dip, right? And I don't want to buy the dip before the dip. I want to buy the dip. And if you DCA in on a dip and it dips more, that's totally fine, right? I don't want to discredit that. That's a very good strategy. I do that very often, especially on altcoins. I DCA very, very often. Right? Tony D said absolutely zero volume profile tools on a free plan. I've said this before, but people told me I was trolling. Shout out to Tony D. Yeah, I thought it was I thought I checked that and I thought it was available on free. But okay, so there you go. So it's not available on free. Can you use the Frankie Candles Essentials on free, or do you need a paid version for Frankie Candles Essentials too? Let's see. Oh, shout out to Wilker says Frankie Candle's Essentials works on TradingView free. Oh, they used to be. Okay, that's why I was confused because I thought I checked that and I was like, it's definitely available for free. I don't know why they say it's not. And then I guess they changed it. Frankie Candle's Essentials does work on the free plan. So there you go. If you don't have it's okay. If you have a free plan, you could use the volume profile. It's the same thing. It's just my custom indicator by Lux Algo. Shout out to Lux Algo. Check them out. Link in the description down below, guys. But yeah, shout out to She said long or short. I was schlong, but now I am just long. Yeah, interesting. That's interesting. But yeah, somebody test it right now. If you have a free version of TradingView, try to use Frankie Candle's Essentials and tell me if it works. But yeah, so for me, guys, I'm more interested if we come up here and we test this level. That's where I'm looking at altcoins. Are they looking good? That's where maybe I would look to buy dips. But or if we lose the golden pocket, right? Maybe that's a good sign. But yeah, I say this all the time, right? Last time we looked at altcoins was when we tested this golden pocket. We knew we could project from here. So that's where we started looking for altcoins, right? And they all pumped. Now they're all back down, but they all pumped at that point, right? So until we lose this or we approach one of these key levels of resistance, the next two are 94.29 and 64.29 and 66.21. Till we come up here, like this is where I'm interested in checking out the altcoins again. Until then, I'm going to sit on the sidelines because if we get push up here, right, I'm not just going to buy and then, unless you buy a little here, all right, and then you come up here, maybe you buy a little more, and then you come up here, buy a little more, you could DCA. But for me personally, there's really no reason for me to really be looking to buy the bottom on altcoins until dominance gives me a sign. So there we go. Shout out to Nirvana said, huh? Since when am I green again? Shout out to Nirvana. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, fixed volume profile is free. Yo, imagine 94%. Imagine 94% dominance. Yeah, 64 is what I meant to say, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, 94 would be crazy. Everything is dead except for Bitcoin, I guess. But anyway, that's what we're looking at, guys, for the most part. I wanted to do a little bit of a deeper dive here on Bitcoin and just show you guys, right? Like, Even when you think, right, yesterday the continuation down was a little more likely, but even in that case, right, TA is not about being 100% right 100% of the time. It's a common misconception. You don't need to be. I was wrong about the continuation down here. I'm never afraid to say when we're wrong, right, because I'm not emotionally tied to my opinion because it's not my opinion. It's just what the charts say, right? We know that sometimes that TA is not going to play out. Money flow fakes back into the green, and we get the continuation up, but we still make money. Right, we're still up $3,000, not bad. So you don't need to be right all the time. You don't need to be 100% sure. You never will be for a trade. But that's why risk management is how we stay profitable like that. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it works, but you can only have like 2 indicators if you already have the indicators up. You can't open up more without paying. Yeah, shout out to Dan. So you'd probably only be able to have 2 of the Frankie Candles Essentials on a free version. But you can still use it. You can always just move one around constantly. And like another way you can get around that, right? Or not really get around it, but like do what I do, right? Like if I were looking at this and I would say like, hey, here's a volume profile. This is the Frankie Candles Essentials indicator, right? Which again is a fixed range volume profile with a bunch of extra sauce, right? No pun intended. Bearish divergences. As you come up to the value area high, you get your sauce can back to the POC, front run the low, back to the high, right? And then you come back up here, you get some bearish signals above the volume profile, back to the POC. One more retest, another sauce can, back down to the value area low. And honestly, the long position that I'm in right now was almost called perfectly because it's like almost the same exact thing I was looking at personally to take that trade is come down to the local value area low, right, with bullish confirmations as you deviate, which is exactly what that sauce can is showing you, right? You even got the divergence marked out there, and then boom, you come back up to the high of the range. Not too shabby. But really all you would have to do is come in here, grab a box, mark it out, right? You can even use your horizontal raise, high POC value area low, and then you could go ahead and mark out a different range, right? Just grab your anchor points, and maybe you want to look at the other range that we're looking at, right? Which is right here. So you just move your anchor points and say, hey, I want to look at this range now. And then you can mark out this one. And now all of a sudden, you don't need unlimited indicators, right? You just mark them out, and then there you go, right? You just have multiple profiles, right? But this is literally exactly what we're looking at right now on my chart. But there you go. Bada boom. Let's see. Shout out to NTH Trader said trade live on BTC. I would if there was a setup here. I mean, we're in a trade. I don't know if you were in here when we showed this. We were in a trade. But yeah, I can't just I can't just like take a trade here and see which way it goes. We need some kind of a setup, baby. Let's see. Okay, I'll say it. I'm bullish. Sue me. Shout out to Nirvana. Hey, I hope so. If we keep coming up here, we'll make a little bit more money on the long. I would not hate that. Just pretty much bottom tick that low, though. The grind up is insane. Shout out to Justin. Yeah, 100%. Let's see. I don't think... I don't... Yeah, NTH says, oh, nice. Yeah, there you go. Shout out to NTH. But yeah, I wish. I don't think you can... I don't think you can't get like community scripts here. That'd be sick though. But yeah, you can pull profiles though. You can get fixed range volume profiles, right? Just pull a little profile here. I don't think you could, for some reason though, on a lot of the exchanges, you can't mark out the value area high and the value area low automatically, which is kind of annoying. But you could always like, inputs. There we go. So you could like 240 on the row size, value area 70, right? And then you can mark out your own value area high, value area low, right? Unshaded candles, that's your value area high. There's your POC is marked out, obviously. And then you have your value area low, right? And I just kind of randomly pulled this range. But so yeah, you can like kind of manually mark them out, but you just can't automatically populate the value area high, value area low on the fixed ranges on exchanges, unfortunately. So yeah, but there you go. We'll see what happens there. I mean, I'll be honest. I am tempted to fire on another trade here. Fire on a short potentially. But I would like to see a little bit more confirmation than what we have right now. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's like it's like hard, right? Because like generally, like we don't have this range up here, right? Because if you don't have this range up here, like, and this is why I recommend not looking at too much stuff, guys. Because like in this case, right? Okay, cool. We back tested the value area high, 4 hour, 15 minute at play, potentially looking to suck us back into the profile, go to the POC, go to the low, right? But we're pretty much shorting into support. Right? It would pretty much be a short into support because if you look at it in terms of this range, you're pretty much just shorting into your key value area low. So it's a little bit of a hard situation to deal with. Let's see. All right, let's continue on here. Let's take a look at. Let's check it on chat here. Shout out to Dowlit. I don't know how to say that. Said, what is your chance? What is your plan for the short, though? Shout out to you, brother. My plan for that short would be very clearly defined by the volume profile down below, right? So the thought process there, right? And I'll be honest, I don't like this is like some kind of a wonky bearish divergence on the 15-minute. Here's the thesis, right, for the short. And again, you know, we looked at this on the premium Discord. In the premium Discord, I kind of told them what I was looking at for the entry. I'm not going to, you know, it's not fair for me to give it away for the people who pay. It wouldn't be fair for them. But I kind of talked about what I'd be looking for here to look to potentially get the move down, right? It's not really that bad of an idea, or not a bad of an idea, but like even if you were like short here, like stop above the high, like maybe if you want to be a little bit more conservative above one of these highs, but like even if you put the stop above the previous high, right? I mean, still almost a 4 risk to reward. So, you know, at the end of the day, if I were to take it here, right, if you do come in, and again, the reason is the 15-minute bear divs, right, money flow coming out, or 15-minute money flow coming out. You have your higher highs, lower highs, money flow coming out on top of the 4-hour red dot, giving you a market cipher B 116 strategy, continuation to the downside, right? So like there's a thesis there, right? We also have bearish CVD forming up here on the order flow as well. So there is reason to potentially look for a pullback. Like maybe it's even like a little pullback before putting in a higher low, and then the 2-day, 3-day, 4-day green dots giving us a pump over the weekend. That could be something we see play out. But looking at it from a volume profile perspective, deviation above the high, divergences, bearish CVD, we see some of those confirmations. If we get the drop down, once you break below that value area high, we'll look for the push to the POC and then the value area low. Very similar to what we looked for on the re-entry of the range back here. Go to the POC, go to the low, right? So that would be the plan for the short. And, you know, there's probably some other key levels in there that you would want to look for higher lows at. But that would kind of be the thought process behind the short and the idea of it. So, yeah, and that would be the plan. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Yeah, today we are giving away... Today we are giving away 5 Frankie Candles hats, guys, for the giveaway. We're probably, guys, I ran almost 3 hours on the premium live stream. I am completely lost on how long. Okay, so we're still good. We still got plenty of time here. But we do have to run into the giveaways pretty soon. Let's see. My longs are still open. Shout out to Gordon. Me too, baby. Me too. Let's see. Love from NTH. Shout out to NTH. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Let's make sure I didn't miss anything else in the chat. Love from NTH. Shout out to Needs Trackers Hub. Shout out to you, bro. Love from NTH. Shout out to NTH. Appreciate you guys for being here. 5 hats. Shout out to Tyler Durden. Let's go, baby. Pick me. Let's go. Let's see. Empire Trade says BTC 69K. Oh, God. BTC to 69K. Definitely in the cards. Longer term, medium term. 10 bags of Tether. Yeah, we're going to start giving away Tether, guys. I think it's just easier to give away Tether. Let's go. Pick me. Listen to this, man. The literal GOAT. Shout out to Michael S. Let's get it, baby. Shout out to Wayne C. Said I missed the premium live. Gonna have to 2x if it's 3 hours. I think it's like 2.5 hours, but yeah, we went a little long there. Shout out to Jesse Jackson. Have you heard of schlong trading strategy? I don't know if you're talking about like a legit strategy or just being long and short at the same time. In which case, yes, I schlong all the time. And my schlong's a schlong. But anyway, enjoy the weekend. Shout out to Infinite Team TA. I appreciate you for being here. You enjoy your weekend as well. Yeah, USDT is much easier. I agree. Pick me, I'm broke. Shout out to Tukis. I don't know if I said that correctly. Love from Uzbekistan. It's 4 a.m. here, and I'm watching. Shout out to, oh, man, I'm going to brutalize that name here. Shout out to Dowlet. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate your dedication, and thank you for tuning in, bro. And good morning to you. Let's see. Shout out to Just Holds. What is going on? Welcome in. CJ said, I'd rock a Frankie Candles hat. Shout out to CJ. Yeah, and, you know, we like these hats. These are very high-quality Richardson 112 hats, guys. They are the Louis Vuitton of hats. They are the Lamborghini. I wouldn't say the Lamborghini. I would say they are like the Bentley / Rolls-Royce of hats. They are so comfortable. And, you know, it doesn't have our name plastered all over it. It's just got this, you know, someone sees your hat, they see the candles, they're like, I know what that is, right? Now, even if they don't know me, they'll just be like, those are candlesticks. That guy must be a trader. You know, not everybody wants to rock another guy's name on their hat. Not that I would be against it. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, we just try to make it a little general, right? We don't want to make it, you know, we have merch. We have Frankie Candle shirts and all that, but we you know, we like to keep some stuff a little bit more, you know, neutral. I have a Frankie Candles hat, the best in the world. Yeah, shout out to Nick Dunn. When we go to conferences, we spot Frankie Candles hats all over the place. It's really cool. They're super nice, and they're also cheap. Like we barely, like we basically break even on the hats almost. It's really more just for the community. And we give them away most of the time, too, which is pretty funny. I love my pink hat. Shout out to you. Yeah, these are fire. I'm not going to lie. I have so many people come up to me and ask me about my hat, not knowing who I am. I got stopped in the grocery store of some dude, and he goes, hey, bro, I like your hat. And I'm like, you watch my YouTube channel? And he's like, no, it's just like a dope hat. And I'm like, that's so weird. I was like, you don't even know what this is? Like, you don't even know you didn't even know there were candlesticks. You just thought it was cool looking. I was like, hey, let's go. From Syria watching your video, shout out to Subhi. Shout out to you, bro. Welcome in. Wow, we got the worldwide viewership. I love it. Behind you. Whew, that was scary. Let's see. Oh, I wear that. Yeah, shout out to Hidden. Yeah, I like it. It's like a low key. It's like low key if you know, you know. Hi, Nightbot. Don't forget about me. Love from Pakistan. Let's go. Welcome in, guys. I appreciate you so much. Germany here. Oh, my God, guys. We are Mr. Worldwide. Shout out to Pitbull. But, yeah, guys, let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll take a quick look at Ethereum. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on alts tonight. I've been saying that, and then we just look at a ton of alts. But I really am. We are running a little late. I kind of went on a few different rants because we're in a little bit of a sticky situation on Bitcoin here, to be quite honest with you guys. But, yeah, let's take a quick look at Ethereum here, and then we'll cover because, again, like, you know, everything kind of remains the same, right? And if Bitcoin pumps or if Bitcoin continues to dump, right, the altcoins are going to follow. And, yeah, it's just like I'm waiting for things to really shake out on the altcoins. But, you know, we talked about yesterday. Shout out to Sin City Crypto dropping in and asking me about, you know, where am I looking to buy ETH? You know, we talked about this key level down here between 1644 and about 1565. And, like, not only is this your macro bear market POC, and then a very significant 786 retracement. Now, just to give you guys an idea of this, how significant this retracement is, this is our pull from the absolute bear market low of 2022 all the way to the current high of this year, right? Or this cycle, really. So this is a huge Fibonacci retracement. We came down to the golden pocket. We got the bounce. And now we're coming down, losing the golden pocket. So I do not think, you know, sure, maybe we get low. Again, looking at the high time frame money flow, Ethereum's been a little bit deeper in the red here, right? Weekly money flow now crossing into the red. So any bounce to the upside, guys, still has to be viewed, just like on Bitcoin, as a lackluster retracement for lower highs and lower lows. And to be quite honest, you know, if we can't, you know, maybe we get a bigger bounce, but, you know, once you lose that golden pocket, chances are you may get sucked down towards that 786. And if we can't reclaim the golden pocket and the value area high, we're going to get stuck in this value area high. You're already expecting the POC anyway, which is right in that zone, right? And now if I pull up our you know, typical Ethereum chart, right, that $1,500 to $1,600 level is also confluent, right? Again, over here we're looking at the macro bear market range POC and the macro 786, right? What are we looking at over here? It's just looked at in a different way. It's the value area low of this local range and the 786, right? So, you know, Funny enough, I've already been like more commonly looking at this level down here. Value area low, 786 retracement. I would be interested in bounces here. But then you look at it from a higher time frame perspective and you're like, hey, and that's the POC of our larger range too? Like it's basically the same level. 1640 to 1550. 1640 to 1550, right? Pretty much the same. I do think this is still an area that can get hit. But your objective here, if we get a little pump to the upside, if Bitcoin decides to rip this weekend, right? Maybe we come into the golden pocket, 786 value area low. These are still the key levels. Golden pocket starts at about $2,000. Get above the golden pocket, looking at 2,062 up to the value area low at 2,100, right? But we have to be careful of lower highs and lower lows based off money flow, right? I would really like something like this. What's the daily look like right now? Yeah, we have no real bull divs. 2-day, yeah, I mean, again, higher time frame green dots, just like on Bitcoin, could continue to move to the upside. But in the grand scheme of things, it would have to be looked at as lackluster for lower highs and continuations down. Pretty much the same thing we've been looking at, guys. It's hard. It really is hard, right? Like when you have no real structure like this, or like even this, right? Or even like this, when you're just coming down like this, you're basically just like, yeah, like you're almost just like one time framing down. It's hard to do analysis on higher time frames when like on this actual price action. We have to use previous price to find the next targets, but until we start making some structure here, it's kind of hard. So that's what I'm looking at on Ethereum. Key levels remain exactly the same. Same thing, high time frame green dots on the higher daily time frames could give us the push to the upside. So looks very similar to Bitcoin. Let's see. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat. Said you misread that. It's 15 hats. It was a typo. Give me a hat. I can't pay for stuff that is being given away. It goes against my principles. Shout out to Creighton C. Let's go, brother. You're hilarious, bro. I'll be honest, bro. Creighton C, you've been showing a lot of love lately. You've been showing a lot of love. You deserve a free hat. So shout out to Creighton C, bro. Thank you for so many super chats recently. I really do appreciate you. Shout out to Jay Edits. Thank you for the super chat. Said, I got caught in a Sui short. Can you look at that possible retracement targets? I will do that very quickly for you, Jay Edits. Let's go ahead and jump on into SIP. That's what I call it. I think that's what they should rename it. Shout out to Daddy Wellness, if you guys know who he is. If you don't, you don't. If you know, you know. Are you in the secret club? But anyway, let's see here. So stuck on a Sui short. So that's probably lower time frame. Maybe stuck from here. Maybe stuck. I don't know exactly where your entry is, Jay Edits. You don't really need to tell me necessarily. But I will say, I would probably look. Let's take a look at the. I'll take a look at the 1 hour. Right. I'd say you flip this 786. Probably going to get a bigger move up, in my own personal opinion. Let's see here. And I can't tell you, Jay, I'm sorry, I can't tell you whether to open, to close it, add to it, or anything like that. But what I can do is I can give you the key levels, right? So I'll just take a look at this. You have a local volume profile right here, POC, value area high. Could also maybe even look at, this as a range, right? So this would probably be like the local range I would look at if you come back to the downside. 786, you break above this. I would maybe look to start your... I'm actually going to pull up the VPVR here real quick. Yeah, there's not really a huge gap in volume, if I'm being quite honest. Maybe now there is. Yeah. So I say you get above, about 240-ish. You do still have some resistance above, but you do have a little bit of a fall off in volume. So I would say the next significant retracements all the way up here are 268. I don't know if you're going to get all the way up there right now. Yeah, you got 2-day green dot. I would say 2-hour red dot printing. Really hard. I would probably need a little bit more context. But, you come on down. This probably looks similar to Bitcoin, right? Like, you got your no bearish divergences, but your money flow's coming out on the 15-minute, 4-hour VWAP rolling over, 2-hour red dot looking to print. You might be able to cool off shorter term, right? Maybe you come back down, test the value area high, right? And then if you get stuck below the value area high, you can look to go to the POC and then lose the POC, go to the value area low, right? Simple, same thing here. This is very similar to the Bitcoin kind of range that we traded. Value area low. Now we're deviating above the high. So if you get accepted back in here, maybe you get a bigger move down. But I would be careful here. This is your key local support, right? 230. If you came back down here, that could mean, right, because 2-hour money flow is coming into the green. So, like, again, with the high time frame green dots, maybe you wind up, like, coming in here, right, retesting fib levels, putting in a higher low and continuing up. This money flow stays in the green. Trend may continue up. So I would be careful there. But short term, you might be able to get a little cool off. Again, I shout out to Jay. Not financial advice. I can't tell you what to do. I don't want to tell you, hey, close it now, and then it dumps, right? Or you know, add to it and it pumps or something like that, or don't close it and then it pumps. But I, just based off the 15-minute and the 2-hour red dot incoming and the 4-hour red dot potentially incoming, might be able to get a little local move down. But those are the local key levels of support. Value area high 230, POC sitting at 223, and then the value area low sitting here at 212. And then fibs I would look at are from the low to the high, and then I would also maybe look at the maybe this local fib too, like probably even actually from this low to the high. That's confluent with your POC. So yeah, these are the levels I would probably look at. Boom. So yeah, those are the levels I would look at. And yeah, I would just be careful. Those higher time, I would say short-term downside, and then maybe next couple days we could have those, see what those higher time frame green dots give us. So hopefully that helps you out, JD. JD. Why did I say JD? J Edits. Shout out to J Edits. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you so much. Let's go ahead. Let me just make sure. I think I missed some super chats. Let's see. Shout out to Creighton C again with the super chats. Just to point this out, the 2-day first double green dot and a Trump tweet got us to 96K after rejection. We have a double green dot again. Money flow is now in the red. Where is the higher low? Shout out to Creighton C. Exactly what we're looking for, brother. Exactly what we're looking for. Yo, Creighton low key, dude. Bro, that is literally what we talk about in the beginning of the stream, right? Lackluster retracements, lower highs, and continuations down. And we know, just to answer your question very quickly, because it's a super chat, from the high to the low, we could watch, 87, 88K, right? I would be very careful here if we get the bigger pushes up. If we continue up above that, 91K value area low with your fib, with your... I'm holding my breath. I don't know why. But, right, so 2-day, right, if we do get some kind of big push up over the weekend, I would be careful around from this high to this low. Golden pocket 786 between 87 and 91K. Once we get above that, I would look to maybe push up towards that POC value area high, and then these would be the next big areas to look for lower highs and lower lows. If it doesn't happen here, could happen here, could happen here. So we'll see. I do think since we've rejected this already, we may be able to just kind of come up here and send it. But we'll see. Maybe we come up, money flow looks good, and we send it. I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens. But these are the levels that I would be looking at for lower highs or paying attention for potential lower highs to form. Very simply put. 87.9 to 91.3. And then your next one, let me just make sure this is correct. Yeah. Next one, golden pocket POC confluence between 96,388 and 99K. We have a liquidity above 99K, so once you break above that, I would look value area high between 102 and 103K. Those are the big levels of resistance to look for potential lower highs and lower lows. Simply put. There we go. Shout out to Crane C. I love that you pointed that out, bro. That's what we're talking about. That's like I love it because that's what I'm looking for. And the fact that you're looking for what I'm looking for makes me think that you're either learning or great minds think alike. I don't know why it took me so long to think of that. Shout out to Sunny. He said open a 200 Sol 20x long at 112. We'll hold it till it reaches 500. Shout out to Sunny. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I hope it reaches 500. Let's go. I don't know what your lick would be on that specifically on 20x. Let's see. Opened it at 112. Yeah. So I mean, hey, if you opened it at 112, I mean, you can't get much of a better entry than that. Yeah. I assume it's a 112.36 was your entry. That's not a better entry than that. So hopefully it rips back up, and hopefully that is the low forever. I hope it is. I really do. I mean, at the end of the day, where's my actual Solana chart? Let's see here. Take a quick look at Solana. I mean, hey, this is where you're at the value. You were deviating below the value area low. If I could critique your trade, I would say, let me just clean some of this up. Well, actually, I could probably leave that. That's going to be local resistance. I'm just going to get rid of it for now, just to clean up things, right? Just look at this volume profile. All right, if I were to critique that trade, I would say, dang, bro, you waited till we got below the volume profile, which is where you want to look for longs, and now you're back inside that profile. Next major stop, other than the local fib levels, would be your POC at 143. Flip that. Look to go up to 168 to 167 to the value area high. I mean, that could be something that plays out. You do have your daily bullish divergence confirmed. You do have a 2-day bullish divergence printing. You do have the 3-day green dot, the 4-day green dot looking to print. So even if, I would say, even if this is going to be, right, like 4-day money flow coming out here, this looks kind of nasty to be honest. 3-day money flow also coming out. This looks nasty to be honest. Could make you anticipate lower highs and lower lows. I would say that even if that is the case, you might still have a little bit of room to come up here. Now, not financial advice, right? You want to, I mean, you're looking to hold it to $500 anyway. But even if that is the case, probably still some room to come in and put a lower high in, even if we are going to continue down. Hopefully we don't have to, right? Hopefully we just come to the bottom of the range, right? Like it wouldn't shock me. Now, granted, money flow, again, would be calling for more downside. But if this winds up being the low in hindsight, it's like, well, hey, deviate below the low, high time frame, bull divs, get back into the range, fill it, break out, get back into this range, fill it, right? So that would be kind of what you would hope for. Obviously, you have to wait. You have to go into like massive new all-time highs to hit 500. But we'll see. We'll see. There's a nice entry there, bro. If I were to critique it, I would just say good job. So shout out to you. Let's see. Shout out to Sonny. Congratulations on your win, brother. Let's see. Okay, and I think we're good. Link 3-wave dump coming? Question mark. Shout out to Mr. Chainlink. Hey, shout out to Mr. Chainlink. You tell me, bro. You tell me. I'm just kidding. Take a quick look at Chainlink here. 3-wave dump. I don't know exactly what you mean. Or like what time frame you're necessarily looking at, or what you mean by 3-wave dump. Yeah, hard to, I'm not sure exactly what you're looking at here or what you're looking for as far as the 3-wave dump, but I will say this. We've gotten the push up into our key level of resistance, the last key level of resistance that we looked at, Golden Pocket 786, anchored VWAP. Where do we get the reaction from? Bada boom. All right, hopefully, this could be an area to put in a lower high and a lower low. But you got your 2-day or your daily bullish divergence printing. You got your 2-day bullish divergence printing. So, I mean, hopefully that could continue us up here. I will say this. Chainlink's money flow on the 2-day is looking as bad as everything else, right? So, lackluster pumps to the upside and lower lows could be in the cards. But we've already come up to this local fib with a fresh green dot printing. I mean, if you continue up even more, I would look at some other key Fibonacci levels, which could be, the bigger one would be up here, value area high golden pocket between 1676 and 1752. And then get above this POC. You could look to push up in there. That could be another level to come in and reject. And then other than that, I mean, could look up at this one too from the recent high to the low. But at the end of the day, right, you're like, as long as you hold this value area low / daily with the daily bull divs, like could get a little push up there, right? Like within the profiles. You deviate below the low, get back in, flip it to support, look to go to the POC. We already did that. If you flip that POC, I'd look to push it up towards that golden pocket value area high confluence. So yeah, that's what I would be looking for. Other than that, though, like long term, I don't know. Like even if we continue to like rip up in a huge way, I like see like oh my god, right? Like hopefully it's just alt season, but 2-day money flow would make you anticipate a continuation to the downside. Simply put, right? So yeah, that's what I would be looking at. But just kind of paying attention to your. Just get rid of some of this stuff. Yeah, just looking at this from a volume profile perspective, get back into the high, rejecting the. If you get above that POC at 1430, I would look for a push up a little bit higher towards that value area high. So yeah, that's what we're looking at on Chainlink. I don't know exactly what you mean by 3-wave dump, but yeah, all I see is bull divs. Again, doesn't mean you're guaranteed to come up, but I mean, hey, daily bull div, 2-day bull div. As long as you stay within this range, that could continue to push us up. Very similar to Bitcoin, right? Like higher time frame green dots, could give you a significant push up. But if it does, still looking for lower highs and lower lows. And, that if is a big if. So, yeah, there you go. That's my general consensus on Chainlink and about the rest of the market. Pretty much all the same stuff. All right, let's see. Shout out to Baron Cohen. Says, Bing Bong. Shout out to you, bro. We got Chief Bomba saying Bing Bong. Let's get it. He's talking about Tino's system, a 3-wave in an Elliott wave 1112. Shout out to Creighton C. And shout out to Mr. Chainlink. I am not. I don't really. I'm not a big Elliott wave trader. If Tino's looking at it, it could be a big thing, right? I would trust what Tino says. Tino knows what he's doing. Tino's a very smart man. So, yeah, I just don't know. I'm not a big Elliott wave guy, so I just wouldn't know really. I'm not an expert on Elliott waves, so it's not something that I would personally look at, but not because it doesn't work or it's not good to look at, just because I'm not a big Elliott wave guy. You can only know so much. So, but yeah, so in that context, yeah, I don't know exactly what that would look like or what that would be like. But if Tino's looking at it, I would definitely, I wouldn't take it with a grain of salt. I would definitely consider that. So, yeah, I mean, that could potentially be, again, I don't know exactly what it is. Like, who knows, right? But, maybe could call for a move up and then a bigger dump, potentially, which would be, the question for you would be, take what Tino says into consideration, take what I say maybe into consideration, and then kind of compare and contrast. If his stuff lines up with my stuff, that might be the super signal for a dump or a pump, right? Because if that three-wave dump requires a little bit more of a push up, that's pretty much what we're looking for. A little bit of a push up for a lower high and a bigger dump. Again, I don't know if that's the case, but if that is, it would be in line with what I'm kind of looking at. Hey, shout out to Tando. Said, what up, Frankie? Shout out to Tando. Welcome in. Doesn't BCB also blockchain backer, I assume is what you mean, use Elliott waves? Yeah, he's a big Elliott wave guy as well. Shout out to blockchain backer, super smart dude as well. And one of the few people that I will check out once in a blue moon, at like big turning points to be like, hey, I wonder what the Elliott waves are talking about this. Sometimes I will check in on blockchain backer because it's not something I pay much attention to. I'm not an expert on Elliott waves. So shout out to the blockchain backer. Yeah, I'll be honest, and listen, Elliott waves, I would argue Elliott waves are one of the best things to look at. They seem to be very accurate. I think Elliott waves are probably one thing that I will eventually start to slowly add more into my analysis as I study it more. But to me, honestly, guys, I just stick to what I know because it works, right? Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And sure, adding Elliott wave could maybe add some more confluence for sure. But for me personally, right? I don't know, Elliott waves just... there's a lot of rules, like the third wave can't be big, third wave can't be bigger than the second wave or whatever it is, right? And to me, it's just I don't know. It's just it doesn't click with my brain that easily. Like volume profiles, there's certain stuff that just clicks with my brain, but it's just it's I don't know. It's well, this looks like an XABDCRLE, but then it's just after looking at it for long enough, I'm just it just looks like zigzags. And it's you'd have to study all the rules of Elliott waves because there are certain rules. And there's certain stuff I do understand, right? Obviously, but to look at advanced Elliott wave is very, very confusing to me, but very useful. So yeah, I would definitely it's just too confusing for me. But that makes me want to master it. So yeah. But it's not like I want to be very clear. Elliott waves are legit, 100% legit. I've seen many Elliott wave situations play out very, very well. I'm just not usually the person who comes up with it, right? If I see someone else look for it, or even on TradingView, if you go to the TradingView ideas section, there's a lot of people who look at Elliott waves. Sometimes I have a couple people on there that I just look. I don't even know who they are, and they just look at the Elliott wave theories, and I just keep an eye on it to see how well they play out, and they oftentimes do play out. So yeah, definitely don't sleep on Elliott wave. It just doesn't really click with me automatically. I have to work at it. Third wave is the highest volume, but wave 5 can't be the longest. Yeah, and then it's oh my God, it's just zigzag, zigzag, but this one can't be. Yeah, so kudos to people who are using Elliott wave. Some people only use Elliott wave. It's definitely, in my opinion, I think it's really good for calling bigger moves, right? I bet you there's some people out there with crazy Elliott wave predictions, right? Long term, right? Oh, hey, it's an ABC or an XY, whatever it is, right? And then that target could bring us up here. I think it's really, really good for that. Personally, from what I see. Yo, shout out to Jesse. Jesse Jack said, I'll buy a Jesse Jack said, I'll buy a hat if you take it off and show it to the camera. Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Jesse Dax. Like, you want like a closer look at the camera, or you just want to see my hair? Let me know. Let me know, Jesse. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, shout out to Fabian said, I feel like Elliott waves are too open to interpretation. Volume profiles are not as much. Yeah, that's the other thing too, is like, you know, like sometimes I'll look at something and I'll be like, oh, like maybe this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have the 5 impulsive wave, right? Like, and then it's just like you see someone else and they're like, I'm interpreting it like this, and it's like, yeah, it is. There is a lot of interpretation, which TA is very interpretive, right? You have to have some kind of interpretation on it. But yeah, it's like easy answer, super useful, can be super accurate. I'm just not the Elliott wave guy at the end of the day. But yeah, BCB, maybe Tino, if he's using them, I would recommend them. I think they're both legit and super, super knowledgeable. They've also been around forever. Let's see. Shout out to Kalichi said, Frankie, can you explain the CVD that you saw above the value area high? I believe you're talking about like the local value area high up here. So yeah. Let me see if I can pull this up. Bada boom, bada bang. Let me just grab this level. We're just kind of chilling now, guys. So yeah, what is this? 83, 686. 83. Oh, let me come on over to the 15-minute. Oh, there we go. 83. 83, 686. Okay, so it's similar to this one. But yeah, all this is higher highs on price action, lower highs on CVD, right? So there you go. It's just a simple divergence, right? Now, there's two different types of bullish CVD and bearish CVD, right? There's exhaustion and absorption. I'm not going to go into that super deep right now. I talk a little bit more about that in the Discord. But essentially, it's just a divergence, right? And I would really like to see that be a better peak. But yeah, you have higher highs, lower highs on your CVD, right? So there you go. That's kind of what, that's just one of the 4 technical different types of divergences you can look at on CVD, but that is the specific CVD that I was talking about. So there you go. Shout out to Kalichi. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Frankie always full of sauce to give. Shout out to Yashitas. Let's go, baby. Shout out to Crypto Pollo in the chat. Shout out to the farm animals out there. Let's go. Shout out to Crypto Pollo, or Bitcoin Chicken, as we like to call them. Shout out to Crypto Pollo. Hope you're doing well, bro. I hope you're doing well. And I hope I get to see you in Vegas if you're going to be out there, bro. I'd love to meet up. Or let us know next time you're in town. We'd love to take you out to lunch or something. I asked Tino when Frankie Candle's collaboration, and he said, yeah, man, I miss Frankie. He's a good guy. I'd be down for it. Shout out to Tony Roaz. Yeah, we got to get a Tino collab coming in pretty soon. And, yeah, I would love to shout out to Alan said, Frank, you're the best thing that ever happened. Hey, shout out to Alan. I appreciate you, bro. I'm just here to help. I'm just doing what I love, and it just happens to help people. I feel just blessed to be in that situation. I get to hang out here with you guys and do all this, right? And sure, it's hard work, right? Sure, it's it is time sensitive, time consuming, right? Sure, it takes a lot of effort, but it just, I lose time, right? Because I love doing this. And the fact that I get to help people literally gives me goosebumps. I don't know if you can see that. I literally have goosebumps. Can you see that? I'm not lying. Hopefully you guys can see that. I can't see OBS. Can you see the goosebumps? When I hear that I help people, or I'm like actually doing something good, that's what I live for, guys. That's why I care. I am not here for a quick bull market money grabbing crypto. I don't care, right? I'm here to help people change their lives, right? I enjoy doing that. That makes me feel fulfilled as a human being. That's why I do it. So you don't got to thank me. I appreciate you guys. Let's see. Thanks, man. Life-changing stuff. Shout out to Alan. I appreciate you so much, bro. Pollo. Shout out to Uncle Jesse. Fake bicep. Yo, shout out to Mark Dutch. Man, you think those are implants? I've said this before. I actually knew a person who had calf implants. I do not have calf implants. You want to see some calves? We haven't shown the calves in a while. And I'm not going to lie, my shorts are riding up like crazy right now, so let me go ahead and fix that. All right. I have natural calves. But they are fat boys. But I actually did know somebody that had calf implants. They were like literal plastic implants in his calves. Crazy. Like, just rock your skinny legs, dude. It's all good. But yeah, pretty crazy. I didn't even think that was the same. Those triceps, though. Shout out to VW John. I actually, I'm not going to act like I'm walking around like I'm jacked or anything. But I do, you ever see the TikTok trend that was like, I look skinny until I wear clothes that fit me check? That's like the story of my life. I'm not. A lot of people probably would think by seeing me on camera that I am a lot smaller than I am. And I'm not saying I'm jacked or anything like that. But I'm just saying I'm not as skinny as I look normally. A lot skinnier than I used to look, though, because I haven't worked out in quite some time. But it is what it is. I'll have to get back. Those calves, they run on diesel, Frankie. Shout out to Mark Touch. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my calves. I don't know why my calves are so big. My calves are just naturally big for some reason. My dad is a massive human being. My dad has forearms the size of a tree trunk. And for some reason, I didn't get his forearms, but I got his forearm genes went into my calves. Like, my dad has the craziest big forearms. Like, they're literal, like, trees. It's wild. Like, even to this day, sometimes I'm like, why are your forearms so jacked, dude? What the heck? It's pretty crazy. Let's see. All right, let's give away some crypto. Should we give away some crypto? Or should we give away some free calf workout strategies? Let's see. Show again, but take off the socks. Yo, shout out to Jesse Jacks. That's crazy, bro. Who let the dogs out, baby? Don't let the dogs out. That's crazy. Shout out to Gennaro, said, thank you, Frankie. I wish to repay you one day. Hey, shout out to Gennaro. Just smash that like button, bro. That's all we ask. You don't got to pay me anything, man. I'm happy to help you guys out. Darius said, Frankie, can you take a look at Dot and give your opinion and maybe add some volume profiles to the current prices so I can understand better how to do it myself? Cheers. I am also premium membership. Hey, $500 up. Let's go. Shout out to Darius. Let's go, brother. Don't forget to pay yourself when you're in the green. This is why I don't really promote the Discord too hard, guys, because I just like the Mafia to do it. It's much more legit. Not that we don't talk about it, but yeah, shout out to Darius. Congratulations. If that's what I think that's what you're saying. But yeah, I will take a look at Dot. Let's do the giveaways. I'm gonna maybe I'll do Polka Dot in a little while. I want to get the giveaways out of the way, and then maybe for the fake out, I'll drop some Polka Dot sauce because I already have a chart. Maybe we'll just do Dot real quick. I have good calf muscle. Shout out to J Violet. Yo, shout out to Kelly. Was like, I watched one of your old instructional videos, and I was like, whoa, Frankie was ripped. Yeah, I used to work out a lot. I have not worked out a lot in a long time. And again, I'm not like walking. I'm a tall person, right? I'm not super tall, but I'm like 6'1", right? So I always kind of wish I was a little shorter so I could beef out a little more. But I'm not like, I'm 6 foot, almost about 200 pounds. I fluctuate between like, depending on what's going on. I'm probably a little under 200 because I haven't worked out. But yeah, when I work out, I'm usually like 6 foot, 200 and something pounds, 205 maybe. That was like the highest I was. But yeah, man, so sad. I miss going to the gym so much, and it sounds crazy because it's like, just go back. It's not that easy. It's simple, but not easy, just like trading is. Trading is simple. Buy low, sell high. Easy. I mean, simple. Not easy, though. Two totally different things. That's like one of my favorite analogies, guys. If you're looking at learning how to trade, you have to understand when it comes to something like trading, you're not going to get the six-pack without putting in the work consistently and being sore, a.k.a. maybe losing a little bit of money to your mistakes, right? Or, just spending time working. But it's just like the gym. It's simple. It's so simple. Buy low, sell high. When it goes up, be in a long. When it goes down, be in a short. Buy low, sell high. Super simple. Like, literally couldn't be more simple than that. But it's not easy. It's not that easy. It's just like going to the gym. You're fat, you're skinny, you're overweight, you want to get bigger, you want to get smaller, whatever it is, easy. You want to lose weight, eat right consistently, and go to the gym every day. Simple. That's literally all you need to do, right? Unless you have some kind of medical problem, right? That's all really you need to do. Just put in the work, go to the gym every day, and work out and eat clean. Easy. I mean, simple, but not easy, right? Have you ever tried to go to the gym consistently? I've gone to the gym consistently for years in a row. And then you take a couple days off, and those days turn into weeks, and those weeks turn into months. And I literally never thought I would sit here saying this. Sometimes those months turn into years, guys. I was going to the gym like consistently for I've always gone to the gym on and off ever since I was like a kid. But I have gone through like year streaks of like literally like not eating any bad food, going to the gym all the time. And I used to think to myself like, man, I can't believe that there was a time in my life where I was not in the gym constantly. Like I'll never go back. This is part of my habits. Like this is a part of my life. Like I feel weird if I don't go to the gym. I can't imagine another reality where I'll like in the future where I'll never go to the gym again or, for longer than a day. And then all this crazy stuff happens. I start doing YouTube and all this other stuff. It takes a lot of time, and I haven't consistently worked out in a good, probably good 2 years, on and off, like very on and off, like not even worth mentioning, on and off. So it's been a while. Let's see. I buy high and sell high. I buy high, I sell high, get high profits, right? Shout out to Rob. That is exactly how it works, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Gennaro, said you should show us what your streaming setup looks like. What would you recommend to someone looking to start trading, investing, to start a trading and investing group like yours? Shout out to Gennaro. I say this all the time. I'm always like, yeah, guys, like after the stream, I'll drop a picture in the free Discord of my setup, and I just never get to it. But yeah, maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll show my setup. But I just have a horizontal monitor here. I have the vertical monitor right here with all the chat. That's why I'm always looking this way when I talk to you guys. And in the middle, I have an ultra wide, which is hilariously always in 1080p. So I'm never using it in ultra wide while I'm streaming. But yeah, just ultra wide horizontal monitor with like OBS and all my extra stuff, and then I have vertical here with chat and all that good stuff. But what would I recommend for someone trying to start a trading group? Like as far as a setup, I mean, listen, technically I could do my job with a laptop, and that's it, and a phone, because I would just naturally have both of those things. But yeah, like if I just had a laptop and I was just on the road all the time, I could still be in Discord. I could still make videos. I could still do live streams. They just wouldn't be as like fancy, right? I wouldn't have all these beautiful lights or anything. But yeah, I mean, as far as a setup, I mean, people always ask me like, what is a good setup to start trading? You could trade on your phone. I mean, it's not fun looking at the charts only on your phone, but I look at the charts on my phone when I'm on the go. You don't need an ultra wide monitor. You don't need 5 monitors, right? Like that's usually, I use all my monitors more for like streaming. I need the extra real estate to move stuff around. But for trading, like give me one screen. It's all I really need. Like I'll just go through different tabs. I don't have to, the way I trade, I don't need to be like staring at Bitcoin on this screen and then like instantly looking over here. It's just like, usually that's like it's like a joke. Like, the more screens, the more profit is the joke, but it's like really the opposite. It's like, if you're a real trader, like, you don't need all those screens. It's not a bad thing, right? You could use them. Maybe it's convenient. But yeah, like you don't need anything. You could trade on a Chromebook. You could trade on a Nokia. No, I'm kidding. You probably couldn't trade on a Nokia. But yeah, you don't really need much. But yeah. Let's see. I'm learning so much from you, Frankie. I set up my first volume profile and found the long on Sui at 220. Big thanks. Yo, shout out to Boss. This is what I love to hear, guys. This is crazy. Yeah, shout out to Crypto Independent. Get in the gym and you will sleep better. Crypto Independent. I love you for saying that, but I have to say it hurts my feelings because I know that that's going to help me. It's hard, though. It's hard. But yeah, shout out to you, brother. I thought about that last night, and I've been thinking about that. I go to gym. I was talking about how I never sleep, guys. I can't sleep. I never sleep. I could stay live until 2 in the morning with you guys if I really wanted to. Unfortunately, Mrs. Candles will not let me do that. But yeah, Crypto Independent, it is, right? I think that's who said that. Yeah, it'll 100% help. Yeah, and it'll just like give me more natural sleep cycles because I'll be tired, especially if I work out at night or, anytime during the day. I'll physically exhaust. I have been doing so little physical activity that I think I just always have pent up energy because I'm not exerting any physical energy. I live here. I live at this desk almost 24/7. And then when the stream ends, I go get some food with Mrs. Candles for like 30 minutes, and I'm back up in here, and I'm staring at the charts. I also watch YouTube videos or do something else as well. But I'm in the Discord. I'm on the charts. I'm sitting here, and even if I am just doing fun stuff, I'm doing it right here, right? So like this is my life, and I'm trying to change that. It's just hard because I'm obsessed. So, shout out to Crypto Boyle said, watch Pumping Iron, get that motivation. We do hard things. Shout out to Dave Digital. Yeah, Dave Digital is crushing his gym journey. He's over a year of consistently going to the gym, which is not easy to do. And I know how good it feels, Dave. I shout out to you, bro. I don't want to say I'm proud of you because I don't like saying I'm proud of people because it seems like condescending. That's not what I mean. I just mean I'm happy for you because I know that's a great thing. So shout out to Dave Digital. And we saw you, like, he was like, I'm starting my gym journey, and then it's already been a year, bro, and you're all good. Or you're still going. First-time viewer just tried to do a 50x leverage from watching you for information. Fingers crossed. Shout out to Matt. Oh, God. Shout out to Matt. I appreciate you for watching. Subscribe to the channel and learn. But please be careful. Do not. I think you might be joking. Please do not just 50x trade off of random information. But shout out to you, bro. If you stick around and learn, we could definitely help you make some money. I can tell you that much. 30 minutes a day really add up. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. If I win, I'll give it to me. Hashtag selfish. Yo, shout out to Wayne C. That's crazy. Gen Z said, Frankie, you need a child. Yeah, I will tell you this, guys. Like ever since I started this channel, I gotta get, shout out to Derelict. I see where this is going. Yeah, I got some catching up to do in my personal life. I've dedicated almost 3 full years of almost 24 hours of my attention to this right here, and I would not give it back for anything. But I do have some catching up to do in my personal life. I've kind of just ignored everything. I've sacrificed everything else in my life to do this, which I love, right? I love doing it. But there is some stuff I need to catch up on. Like Mrs. Candles probably could use a vacation, but I'm not getting off the charts. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Mrs. Candles, I'm not leaving. Mrs. Candles. I don't know if she's here. But anyway, I can feel I'm going to win. All right, let's do this, baby. Let's do this. So close to check dot, but I think he forgot bing bonging on all the message. Shout out to Darius. Yeah. Okay, so let's do dot real quick. And then, Tony, let's get ready to do the giveaways. And then I'm just going to say this, drop 10, and then those will be the USDT, and then drop 5. Those will be the hats. Let's do them separately. Or yeah. Shout out to Tony D. Polka Dot TA fake out, giveaway fake out. Yeah, I'm just like, come on in here, Mrs. Candles. With who? Oh, tell him I said hi. We need to sniff the hand because we're in a long and we want to make money. Also, do you want to go on vacation? She rolled her eyes and went, any day. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. But she loves the Mafia, too. She loves the Mafia, too. She's happy. Mrs. Candles is a saint, guys. I am the luckiest human on earth to be with her. And she's not even in the room anymore. So I mean that. I really do feel lucky. But anyway, let's see here. There's a Mrs. Candles hands. All right, let's see. So taking a look at Polka Dot. Let me pull up the actual Polka Dot chart, which is going to be over here, right here. Right, so shout out. Ooh, man, I forgot who said it. But I forgot the name. Shout out to Big Boy. Big Boy. Super Strike. Let's go, Honcho. I love when the lurkers come out. There's like some names that I'm not super familiar with. Yappy. That's a fire name. Dot is dead. Shout out to DMB Smurf. Smurf? With a TH? Smurf. But yeah, let's see. So yeah, we're just pretty much just back in this consolidation, right? The bear market consolidation, which is pretty dang crazy if you ask me. So I guess I can explain this green box, right? So this green box, I drew this when we saw our short squeeze forming at about 446 or no, 346 or yeah, maybe it was 440, something like that. We were looking for a short squeeze here on Polka Dot, pushing us up to obviously the value area high. And then, looking if that was going to be alt season, very, very likely we would have seen Polka Dot continue up to the value area low, flip the value area low, and then push up into the value area high and potentially beyond. That's what this box was from. Obviously, all the alts took another nuke. And right now, we're just like kind of back bing-bonging around in that range. Now, let me actually get rid of this, get rid of this. Whoops. Get rid of this. So, yeah, we're kind of just back down in this local volume profile. So, for this, I would say, can you do them the old way for tonight? I will explain later. Everyone comment on the video to enter. Okay, shout out to Tony D. Yeah, sure, no problem. We could do that. So, yeah, if you want to win the giveaways, guys, I'm going to pin this to the top of the chat. Tony, are you good? I don't care. I'm happy to do it the old way, but are you good? Call me if you're not good, bro. But let me see. I'm going to go ahead and pin this to the top of the chat. I almost blocked Tony off the channel. Oh, yeah, you can't pin super chats. So click Tony's super chat, the link there. I'm sure it's a market update or something. Just go and leave a comment on that video to get entered into the giveaway, and then we'll pull them the manual way, and I'll cover dots so you guys have some time to do that. No, I'll just do it the old way. It's fine. Shout out to Tony. But anyway, let me grab this value area low. So shout out to, man, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting who asked for dot, but if we take a look here, right? So we're just within our lower volume profile. Let me mark out the POC as well. Let's get rid of this green box. Bada boom, right? So we're just, back in this profile, right? We came down here recently, not recently, but before the big pump. We came down. We have spotted a short squeeze by looking at spot CVD and future CVD. We're able to spot that short squeeze. We dropped it in Discord. We got a massive move up, right? That was a good sign there. On top of that, I believe we actually did have a potential 2-day bull div down there as well. Yeah, we always say this. 2-day bull divs on the altcoins are typically pretty good, right? Lower lows on price action, higher lows on momentum waves, green dot prints, money flow crosses into the green, boom, right? Many reasons to look for that push up. And now we're just completely eating that all back up, and we're sitting at the same exact levels. We also have a 2-day bullish divergence printing. Pretty crazy to see that all play out like that. Now, money flow is not necessarily coming up just yet. Money flow looks kind of gross right now, but 2-day bull div printing, not too bad, right? As you deviate below the low, right? You're already above the value area low. Hold the POC as support. POC sitting at 416. Hold this as support. I'd look for a push up to the value area high at 454. I don't know if you're going to break out here, right? Just yet. We'd have to analyze money flow in the higher time frames, but that is just kind of the local levels I would look at. Value area high at 454, POC at 416, and then your value area low at 398, right? We hold above this, stay in this range. We'd look for those levels to get respected. If we break out, you could look to reclaim the bigger doorway to higher prices, which is really the larger volume profile, this bigger bear market range. Flip that value area low, which sits at about 490. That's your bigger doorway to higher prices. 490, that POC of that bigger range is 643. Then the value area high of that bigger range is 784. And again, same thing. Like, it's the same exact kind of theory as we were back here. Right? If you break out here and you flip the larger value area low to support, you look to go to the POC and then value area high. I could actually, let me see something here, because I want to talk about, I don't want to just say something and not show the proof, right? Not that we really have any obligation to show it, but, I think it's fair. Where is Polkadot? Where is Polkadot? Where is Polkadot? This is all old, guys. All this stuff already ripped and is already back down, just so you know. This is all from a long time ago. So you can't just screenshot these and be like, oh my God, this is months and months and months ago. But where are we at? Where is Polkadot? Where is Polkadot? Because I just want to show you, right? Yeah, so for Polkadot, right, I could probably go back a little bit more, but we were down here, right? And we were looking for the big move up. And our first kind of idea here was, hey, and obviously this was drawn beforehand. Let me just bring up the, did we look at it? Did I post it in here is the question. Yeah, look at this. I'm going to read this because there's something to learn here. Update on Polkadot. On top of everything I mentioned in the previous post, we have a potential short squeeze building. We have spot CVD coming up. People buying Polkadot on spot as we're creating an uptrend. But look at all the futures traders. The futures traders are shorting the heck out of this thing. When you've already gotten, there it is. When you've already come down like this and everyone is getting bearish at the lows, right? This is obvious. Everything comes down. Everyone thinks it's going to zero. And when you see everybody shorten as you have an uptrend forming, fueled by spot buying, that is the ticket. That is a recipe, a perfect recipe for a short squeeze. I have a video on the channel explaining this. We have an uptrend fueled very obviously by spot buys, people buying Polkadot and holding it. When you have an uptrend from people buying on spot and everyone is shorting against that, degens are shorting at the low. The move already happened, guys. We're already got the 1,000,000,000% dump. Why are you shorting down here? But they're shorting into the uptrend, right? And all that liquidity lives above. And when all that we need is for people to keep buying on spot, and that's going to keep pushing up, and eventually it's going to push them up until it hits all their liquidations, and it's going to cause a massive trigger. We saw this forming before the move up. This is at $4.16. saying if we get the move up, I will look for the continuation through the local volume profile above, from the value area low to the POC to the value area high. If we could get above that, right, we have to be careful because once we get up there, we could deviate above the high and come back down to the bottom of the range. But if we get above that, we would look to move our way to the value area low up here, flip that to support, and come up to the value area high. I'm actually not very bullish on Polkadot making a massive new all-time high, right? I would be happy with a move up to that previous volume profile for a 702% pump, right? And we did wind up getting that to play out in full and plus some, but obviously we got slammed back down into the range. But that's how we spot the short squeeze, right? And what happens? Boom, you fly right through there. Why'd this move up happen so fast? Was it because everybody just randomly got bullish on DOT? No, it was because there was a huge short squeeze to the upside. And we literally figured that at 416 before we ripped all the way up here to whatever price that is, 855, right? And then we even went higher. But then what happened? We deviated above the high, right? This is the same thing. This TI is still on the chart, right? Got above the high, went to the value area high, got above the low, went to the value area high, deviation above, put in some macro daily bearish divergences, and we come on back down. We get stuck back in the range. We go to the POC. We can't get back out. We lose the POC. We go to the value area low and beyond, right? So, to me personally, I wouldn't even say this is dead. I would just say we went from below, back above the high, back to the POC, back above the high, got accepted back into the range, to the POC, to the value area low. That was dead back here too. But what happened? We were just deviating below the volume profile. This is where you want to start looking for longs, especially if everybody else is shorting the heck out of this thing, right? So we could potentially look for a similar thing right now. Is everybody shorting DOT? Are we on a little bit of an uptrend and everyone's shorting against it? Maybe we get another big short squeeze to the upside. Maybe not, right? We have to see if that's on the charts. But these are definitely the levels I'd be looking for, right? Deviate below the low, get back into the range, go to the high. Deviate above the high, bearish confirmations, get back in, go back to the low. DOT was dead back here too. Boom, right back to the highs. Deviation, back down to the range. Now DOT is dead again. And maybe DOT is dead, right? Like, who knows, right? Maybe we'd never come back up ever again, right? But people would have said that here. People would have said that here. And again, do I think DOT's going to go up into a massive new all-time high? Maybe not. Probably not, right? I'm not betting on that. I just know if we got to move to that previous value area high / macro golden pocket 786 retracement that I'm not even showing on the chart right now, if we make it all the way back up there, it's like an 800% pump, 700% pump, right? And that's like not even a really it's not even a extremely bullish target, right? Like, it's essentially just a macro fib retracement, right? If I take a look at this, right, pulled from the high to the low here, golden pocket 786 is up here. That's just a golden pocket 786 retracement. It doesn't even need to go into all-time highs. So it's a pretty conservative target. You get all the way up here, right? That's a 800% pump, almost a 900% pump if you make it to the 786. If you break above that, it's over 1,000, 1,500% pump if you go to new all-time highs, depending on where you go, right? So, I mean, heck, even this, right? And again, like, I'm not going to bet on this on like the next big project, right? But to me, I'm a chart guy. I don't even care what the text says. If the chart is bullish and it's a scam, and the chart's bullish, the scam is probably going to pump. If it's a garbage coin, but the chart looks bullish and it looks like there's a short squeeze coming, that chart's going to go up, whether it's, the best project or not, if the chart is bullish, more often than not, right? Especially if you see a short squeeze building, which we don't have here, just so you know. When I was explaining back here, this was all the way back 11/24/24, right? So I was all the way back in November, before everything pumped, right? And again, I think we were actually looking. I'm actually curious to know this. I'm kind of just freeballing it right now, guys, to be honest with you. We're just chilling. I think we were talking about two-day bullish divergence. Was something else that we mentioned on Polkadot. Let's see. That's Ethereum. I'm not going to spend too much time here. Yeah, same thing, short squeeze on Matic. We called this. This is crazy, guys. Like, when you really understand how liquidity works and like how to identify short squeezes, people shorting way late. We got the massive move down. All the shorts start to enter, but you're kind of putting in an uptrend here. Where are all those short liquidations? People who are all shorting down here, they're shorts. They're and especially everyone shorting like down here. Their short stops are going to be up here, up here, up here, up here, right? So like you have to think to yourself when you're shorting, right? Where are all those stop losses going to go? They're going to sit above. So if you can identify short stop losses and licks above, hey, if we break this level, probably going to see that big squeeze to the upside. That's not by chance. That's by understanding where liquidity lies in the market, and if that level breaks, you will see the squeeze to the upside, right? And you're able to identify that short squeeze is happening by seeing a lot of shorts shorting at the bottom, right? While people are buying on spot, pushing price up. Pretty magical. Imagine being able to spot that. But yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time trying to find polka dot again, but I'm pretty sure we had some kind of 2-day bullish divergence down there. Or we did. I'm pretty sure we were looking at that though. But anyway, so that's what I'd be looking at on polka dot. Those are the local volume profiles and kind of what I'd be paying attention to. Maybe we make it up to this high. And hey, maybe if we could spot a short squeeze, we can get a big move. But again, I would not be really pointing towards that right now. Let's see. All right, so dot looks juicy. Shout out to CandleMafia John Cena. Hey, I'll dig for a short squeeze. We'll see if we can spot one. All right, so let's go ahead and do this giveaway, guys. Let me go. I'm a little rusty, guys. I'm a little rusty, so we got to go giveaway. Whoops. Picker. Was it giveaway.com? Pickawinner.com. How could I forget that? It's only been like a few weeks of us doing it the old way. All right, so let me go ahead and grab the link real quick. Copy link. Paste link. And here we go, baby. Here we go. Let's give away some crypto, and let's give away some Frankie Candles hats. I actually don't have any hats here. Next to me. I have a hat on my head, but I don't know what that hair looks like right now. But anyway, Boo, there's Nikki. Shout out to Nikki94. Boo, welcome in. What's up, fam? Made it just in time to like and say hi to the Mafia crew. Bing bong. Hey, shout out to Nikki. You're also just in time to win potentially win some free crypto. Or a free Frankie Candles hat. Let's get it. Let's get it. Friday candles. Let's go. Shout out to Burger Chase. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. The wheel is a scam. Shout out to Mark Dutch. If it's a scam, we know Lucho is the one that's rigging it, baby. So let's go ahead and jump on in here and do some giveaways. All right, let's go ahead and run it. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me drag this in, right? I mean, not that I could cheat, because I could have as many Frank Candle hats if I want. I don't need to rig a giveaway to do it. But let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. YouTube.behk. 369 comments. All right, here we go, baby. Here we go. First, we're going to be doing... Keep track here. First, we're going to be doing we'll do the 10 USDT giveaways first, and then we'll do the 5 hat giveaways. So first 10 are USDT giveaways. Here we go. Winner number 1. Let me pull up chat real quick. All right. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. Here we go. Ready? Winner number 1. Who's it going to be? Marissa. Shout out to Marissa. Says bing bong. Shout out to Marissa. Thank you for leaving a comment. Thank you for dropping the like. Go ahead and hit the free Discord. All winners, go to the free Discord, go to the Help Center to claim your prize. Link to the free Discord in the description down below. Shout out to Marissa. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the Candle Mafia. We are sending you some USDT. So there you go. Used to be Cardano. Now we're sending you dollars. So winner number 1 is Marissa. Shout out to Marissa. Winner number 2, who's it going to be? Banuta says amazing. Shout out to Banuta. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but shout out to you. Hit that free Discord, and congratulations. Thank you for dropping the comment. You're winner number 2. We're sending you some free USDT. Here we go. Winner number 3. Who's it going to be? Crypto Flamingo dropping the purple hearts. Let's go. 1 heart for Bing, 1 heart for Bong. Shout out to Crypto Flamingo. You've been here forever. You deserve this. You're winner number 3 for the USDT. You know what to do. Go claim your prize, your PRIZE. Let's go. Here we go. Winner number 4. Who's it going to be? Abdel Ali 8. Asta Pasta, shout out to you, brother. Or is that a SpongeBob balloon? What is that? I think that's a SpongeBob. But shout out to you. Hit that free Discord. Get your free, I want to say Cardano, but USDT. You're winner number 4. Thank you for being here and leaving a comment and liking the video. Here we go. Winner number 5. Karamba says bing bong. Shout out to Karamba. You're winner number 5. Let's go. Hit that free Discord. Let's go, baby. Come on. Winner number 6, James Lovato said so much sauce here. Shout out to James Lovato. I actually don't know what this video is. Is it a market update? What the heck is it? Love this giveaway. Shout out to Pharrell. Let's go, baby. It's like auctioneer giveaway. Rigged. Shout out to Gen Z. All right, so shout out to James Lovato. You're winner number 6 for some USDT. So much sauce here. So much sauce in your wallet, bro. Hit that free Discord and claim your free prize. Let's go. Winner number 7. Who's it going to be? Maggie. Shout out to Maggie. Says, bing bong, candle emoji, candle emoji. We're sending you some free USDT. You're winner number 7, Maggie. Thank you for being here, and go claim your free prize. And, hey, maybe buy some crypto. Buy that dip with that USDT. Hey, shout out to, is Multisig Dummy here? Shout out to Multisig Dummy. Yo, do you think Lil Bubble will let us use his music? I want to say that he said that we can use his music, but I might start playing his music in the waiting room sometimes. Shout out to Lil Bubble. He popped up on my feed the other day, and I watched one of his new videos or newer videos. And yo, Lil Bubble is the GOAT. If you do not know Lil Bubble, go look him up. Lil Bubble is like a crypto rapper / parody music creator. I don't even know what to call him. His videos are hilarious. His songs are hilarious, and they high key slap. He's like very musically talented. It's very funny. Shout out to Lil Bubble. These rapper names, yeah, Lil Bubble. Well, yeah, it's like crypto being a bubble, I guess. Yo, shout out to World War 208 says, everyone knows I won. Stop counting the votes. Give it to me. Shout out to you, bro. Lil Bubble is heat. Yeah, I think he said we could use his music. I mean, heck, I'll share the revenue with him. I don't care. Yeah, Lil Bubble's fire. But anyway, maybe I'll close, instead of playing my song for the closeout, maybe I'll play a Lil Bubble song, and then if he copyrights us, he deserves it. He deserves the money. But anyway, all right, here we go. Maggie's number 7. Who's going to be number 8? Here we go. User JN6I. I don't know if that's an I or an LK2KX6Q. He says, bing bong. Seems like a scam, but shout out to you, bro. You said bing bong, so you must be real. And your winner number 8, we're going to send you some USDT. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being a part of the Candle Mafia. Winner number 9 is going to be Bees. Just Bees. Not Blanchard's Bees, just Bees. Says, hey. I say, hey, you want some free USDT? Let's go. Your winner number 9. Thank you for being here. Hit that free Discord. You have 7 days to claim your prize. Let's go. Winner number 10 for the USDT, Jay Violet. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to Jay Violet. Let's go. Jay Violet, you deserve that, Jay. Let's go. Let's go. You've been here forever. We're going to send you some of that USDT. Shout out to Jay Violet. Winner number 10 snuck in there at the last second. Let's go. Defrig. Shout out to Dirty 8 Racing. Jay Violet, it's rigged. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Shout out to Jay Violet. Congratulations. Go, JV. Shout out to K Diggity. Come on, baby. Come on. Wheel is the scam. All right, here we go. You are blessed for sure. Yeah, shout out to Jay. Gen Z. All right, here we go. We got 5 Frankie Candles hats, guys. Here we go. I don't know what color we're going to do. Might be random. They might all be black and white. They might all be this color. I don't know. I think they're just random colors. But if you want to check out the colors, go to FrankieCandlesTrading.com. We have all the colors on there. And yeah, we'll see. I want the hat. Shout out. Forget the USDT. Yeah, I would be the same way. I would want the hat. Hat's fire. By the way, regardless of the, like, if you have no logo on here or a different logo, Richardson 112s, which is what we use to make these hats, are the best hat. If you want to ever make your own hat, or you ever just want to go buy a nice hat and like do a custom design or something, get a Richardson 112. They're the best. Shout out to Richardson. Anyway, here we go. Winner number 1. Any color as long as it's black. Shout out to Tyler Durden. There you go. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Winner number 1 for the hat. Come on, baby. Bobby Yoga said giveaway. Shout out to you, bro. We're giving you a hat. Congratulations. Hit that free Discord and go claim your prize. Let's go. Shout out to Bobby Yoga. I appreciate you for being here and viewing the channel, brother. Shout out to CJ. Here we go. Winner number 2 for the hat. Come on, baby. Brian Ski said, yeah. Shout out to Brian Ski. Hopefully, yeah means you want a hat, because we're going to give you a free hat. Hit up the free Discord. Bobby number 1, Brian Ski number 2. Let's go. Hit that free Discord, get your free prize. I'm kind of rooting for, I'm not going to lie, for the hats, like, I like to see familiar names in the chat win them. But, we got viewers that watch the pre-records as well, and they're just as much Candle Mafia as everybody else. I'm not a hat guy, but pick me. Shout out to Lil Juan. Let's go. Winner number 3, who's it going to be? Come on. Niz. Shout out to Niz. Candle emoji. 1 single candle emoji gives you 1 single Candle Mafia hat. Let's go. Shout out to Niz. Hit that free Discord and get your free prize. We got 2 more to give away. Come on, who are we rooting for? Crypto Independent. All 1-word answers. Yeah, we need more creative. We need 2-word answers. Maybe we should do that. We should add a little bit of spiciness to it and be like, after we get the comments, I'll be like, only 2-word comments win, or only 5-word comments win, or only emojis win. That'd be kind of annoying, though. But anyway, here we go. Winner number 4. Who's it going to be? We're rooting for Crypto Independent. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh, Mega Man says, Bing Bong. Shout out to you, bro. We're going to send you a Frankie Candles hat. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate the Bing Bong. Hit that free Discord. You got 7 days to claim your free prize. Shout out to a Mega Man. I hope you're in here, bro. Congratulations. And here we go. Last one. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Ash K. Diggity. Come on. We're going to go for Ash this one. Let's go. Come on, Ash. Come on, Ash. Come on, Ash. Come on. Scammer. Realistic. Shout out to you, bro. It says Bing Bong. It's so hard to tell who the scammers are sometimes. But shout out to Realistic. Says Bing Bong. Candle emoji. Your winner number 5, bro. We're sending you a free Frankie Candles hat, which is guaranteed, guys. This is the only guarantee I can make you. These hats are guaranteed to make you or increase your win rate by at least 13%. If you get this color, the navy blue and the whatever this color is, like Carhartt brown, it is guaranteed to increase your win rate by 30%. So if you're already getting like at least a 50% hit rate, like rip that up to 70 with a Frankie Candles hat. I'm just kidding. But if you guys do want to check out the hats, you can come on over here, and they are for sale. They're pretty cheap, right? Like I said, we basically break even on these. I just do it for the Mafia. But yeah, they are fire hats if you guys want to check them out. And we even got pink for the female CandleMafia or the male CandleMafia. Pink kind of fire. But there you go. My favorite, high key, bro. Like this one's fire. This one's fire. The army green. Basically the ones I wear all the time. This is the one I'm wearing right now. So yeah, we got a bunch of colors. A lot of neutral stuff. This used to be my absolute go-to. This was the original. These hats originated on my, when I hit 10,000 subscribers, Mrs. Candles got me like a little gift, or it might have been one of my birthdays. I think it was when I hit 10K. She got me like balloons and stuff, and she got me this Frankie Candles hat, and she got it on like Etsy, I think, and it was this exact hat. And then we just took the idea. I used to wear it, and people were like, yo, that's fire. You should make those. And we did. So, yeah, there you guys go. But, yeah, with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. We went pretty late. It's already almost, is this almost 3 hours too? 2:30. Man, I've been live for 5 hours almost straight. Got off the live stream, the premium live stream at like 5. And then we just went live at 5:45. Yeah, I've been live for like 5 hours straight. That's crazy. But anyway, guys, with all that being said, these hats make your calves larger. That is another thing. This color actually does increase your calf size as well. Excuse me. Let's see. Pokemon, what is going on? Said blue and the pink. Yeah, they're fire. They're no way I didn't win. I say keep drawing until I or Gen Z wins. Let's see how long it'll take. Hey, I kind of like it when it takes a long time for one of the OGs to win, just because it makes it that much more exciting when you do win. But shout out to you guys. We'll root for you next week, 100%. But yeah, guys, we'll see what happens. I got to get out of here. Mrs. Candles is probably tapping her foot outside the door. But yeah, guys, enjoy the weekend. We'll see what happens. Watch out for that 4-hour red dot with the 15-minute money flow crossover for the short-term pullback on Bitcoin. And we'll see if what those green higher time frame daily green dots give us. I'm holding the long. I'm no longer holding my short, so I'm really only long right now. I may take a short based off of what we talked about earlier with the premium. But yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. And go touch some grass. We'll see what Bitcoin does. If anything crazy happens, I'll drop a market update for you guys. But with all that being said, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys are the absolute best community I could possibly ask for. I love to see you guys growing as traders and becoming successful, seeing you guys winning the trades, and really taking what we teach. But anyway, really taking what we teach and, actually using it, right? Like putting in some work, using it, and making money. It's what we absolutely love to see. So I will see you guys on Monday. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. I'll see you guys Monday. Go touch some grass. I probably won't, but please go touch some grass for me. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Coach, what's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f*** is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Space shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, thought they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats. you. Nobody's enemy. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Okay, weekend homework for the Mafia guys right now, or sometime over the weekend when you have a minute. Search Lil Bubble. This is the song I saw last night that I thought was lit. I would play it on the ending, but it's like we're gonna get flagged because it's got like bad language or whatever. We're trying to keep it family friendly, but go look up Lil Bubble BTFD by the Effin' Dip. BTFD official music video. Go search that up and listen to it. It's fire. If you had a clean version, I play it on live stream right now. But go check it out. BTFD by Lil Bubble. Lil Bubble, if you see this, bro, I love you. You're the GOAT. You're the real GOAT of this space, bro. Shout out to you. Hasta Pasta Mafia. Go have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. Hasta Pasta. Frank Candles out. Bing bong.
Yeah, I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They've been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Yo, grew my hair and took the grill out. Think it's time to put it back in. Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. How with the gang we packing? We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They've been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She asked me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fool with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoes, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas key. You with me, sheesh. Benito, cheap Keith. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They've been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.